It's the witching hour here on Spooktober, so gather round if you dare, as we embark on a story about 4 witches bound by friendship and power that summons forces they can't fully control. But payback is a witch, for with every spell cast they flirt with danger, leading them down a path filled with envy, betrayal, and... well, I'm not going to spell it out for you. So grab your broomsticks and hold on tight, because this tale of teenage angst and arcane arts is bound to raise more than a few scares.
All we want to do is kill you.
Charlie Brown's an asshole.
I got a better one. Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it?
Oh goodness, everybody knows about. Never you mind, it's just a story.
Never trust the living.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dissect That Film, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
And once again, we have first-time guests, and I'm so excited to have them here. We have Anna and Hannah of Cinema Slabs. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us, you guys. Very excited to be here.
Very excited.
So excited to have you here. I have been listening to your show for a little bit now. I don't remember how I discovered you guys or how I got to listening to it. It was one of the many shows that I listened to.
Right.
And you guys, I think, were guests, and I'm like, these ladies are so funny. I need to know. I need to listen to their show. And you guys, yeah, so funny. And to be honest, I always get jealous when I listen to shows where people get to hang out and do the show together.
Yeah.
Like, one day, we're all going to be together. We're actually going to have a show. We're almost to 200, and we've never actually physically met each other. But one day
we're gonna will it. We're gonna will it to happen.
Yes,
it's gonna happen. But you guys
are gonna get to me.
And also, I was listening to an episode. Actually, I think it might have been your Beetlejuice episode, which at the time of this recording isn't the latest episode, but it's right before it. You guys haven't really known each other like that long.
No, going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Wow,
I know,
that's crazy. Like, you guys, the way you guys talk and like on your podcast, and I met off the podcast, you guys seem like people who have known each other for like decades. Like, oh, we met in middle school, we met in high school. Like, that's how I envision you two. But when I heard, I was like, oh yeah, we met in like 2019. I was like, what? Wait, that's 2019.
like recently.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
So
very recently.
That's awesome.
I make a movie and TV themed candles and wax melts and smell goods and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I started my group on Facebook, a mutual friend of ours was inviting people to the group, and Hannah was one of them. And I remember I had no idea who she was, just that our friend Amanda invited her, and her first order was huge. And I was like, damn, this girl either really loves movies or really loves candles. And turns out it was both. So and like, I know you wouldn't think this by listening to the show, but I'm very introverted. But Hannah's just one of those people where you can 100% be yourself with her. So it's easy for me to just be Anna, and like no walls up. And that's great for the show as well to put that out there. Like, we are just 100% ourselves, and it just makes it even that more fun. And when I brought her candles to her work, she was like, "Hey!" Like, walked up, open armed, was gonna give me a big old hug, and I was like, "Hi!" And then we added each other like on our personal pages, and I had just gotten a movie projector and a screen for Christmas the year before, and we were having a bunch of projector nights and stuff, and she was like, "I want to come." So then the rest is history. But yeah, I feel like I can't remember a time where I didn't know her, you know.
That's awesome.
That's how I feel too. Like, I didn't really have, I don't know. I've always just had friends that have just taken advantage of me because I am very nice. And, you know, if you need something, I'm there. Like, I will do, like, if you're,
She
you
will
know,
give you the shirt off her back.
Yeah, like, and Anna will too. But I've just been, and she has too. She's never had really, I mean, her friend Amanda has been a really good friend, but like, she's been hurt
about
too.
the only one.
And so I was just like, it had been years since I had been like, since I'd had a really good girlfriend that we could go and do stuff with. And we started going to we went to this like pumpkin festival, and we had such a good time. And we just
Down
take
in Atlanta.
Harley with us, which is her 8-year-old. And she's like our little third amigo. And we just go. Our
she's
third
a rider.
musketeer.
She's always with us.
And yeah, and we just drag her along. And yeah, so, but yeah, it's, like Anna said, it's felt like we've known each other for years. And I feel like if there was ever a time that we, you know, that we didn't talk for, like, we would be that kind of friend that we would pick it right back up where we left off, which we're never not gonna talk or anything like that.
I know.
But we have that, I just feel like we have that connection where it would just be like, you know, just like picking up right where we left off. So yeah. There's definitely something special there between us.
Oh yeah.
I say all the time, everybody probably thinks we're like this cute lesbian couple with a kid whenever we go out in town.
I'm asked by Jill Whitlow from Night of the Creeps if we were together.
She was the first time anybody has ever asked us, and of all people, it was Jill Whitlow from fucking Night of the Creeps. She's like, "Are you two together?" I'm like, "No, we're just besties."
I love it. I love it. I mean, yeah, you guys got close, and then you guys started a podcast called Cinema Slabs. Tell everybody what that's all about.
Well, it's just Hannah and I sitting down reviewing movies. We do like to review TV shows as well. We have an absolute blast doing that. Our Boys episodes and True Detective Night Country are some of like my fondest memories of the show. And but yeah, we love horror movies, but we'll review anything. In August we did the comedy month, and that was a blast. I just didn't want it to end by the end of it. We had so much fun. But yeah, we just love movies in general. We love going to the movies, us talking about them. I'm more of the avid podcast listener. Hannah's more of the YouTuber, although she does still listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And her and myself and Hunter, her little brother, we were talking one night, and I was just listening to our conversation. We were ranting about the new Halloween movies. And I was like, man, this is something I would want to listen to in a podcast. And so, yeah, we just went from there.
Heck yeah. And you guys talk a lot about how you guys watch Dead Meat, which is my YouTube channel.
We love Dead Meat.
It's a must watch every week. I don't care if I've seen the movie or not. I will watch it. Don't give a shit about
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a new one for me. I knew the channel existed and everything, but we just started watching him recently, and I've just fell in love with it. It's awesome.
Yeah, we used to drop references to them super early in the show's history. Yeah. We still do once in a while, but sometimes it's like, oh my God, he's got so many. I don't even remember what he's covered anymore.
No, I'm
so much.
But yeah,
I actually tried to see if he covered this, but he didn't. I couldn't.
I did too. I looked today.
Yeah, and this one he hasn't. So
because I know that he has a criteria.
It must not have enough
criteria where it's
maybe.
I think it used to be it had to have at least 2 kills in order to pass.
Okay, well
as a
this
kill
would
count.
work then.
Yeah. Maybe it was 3. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Some of them are weird.
Know.
Yeah. But we love Dead Meat over here. Dead Meat's
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're pretty far into this already, and we haven't even mentioned what movie we're talking about tonight, because I wanted to make sure these ladies got to talk about themselves because
Thank
they're
you.
awesome.
Thank
And
you.
now we're going to talk. And now it's time to talk about the movie at hand. As today we're talking about 1996's TheCraft. So this movie was directed by Andrew Fleming, who directed a lot of TV stuff. That's pretty much what he's known for. I think the latest thing that he directed was that Emily in Paris show on Netflix.
Oh, okay,
Did a
that's
bunch of
pretty
episodes
popular.
for that. So
I haven't watched that.
I hadn't watched it either. I think it's pretty popular, like Bridgerton is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a drama. It's got Lily Collins. I like her, but
Yeah,
it's not,
she's
not
a good
enough for
actor.
me to watch it.
Right, same.
It was
Too
written
romantic.
It was written by Peter Filardi, who the only noticeable things I saw of his writing was the original and the remake of Flatliners. You remember
Oh,
Flatliners?
damn.
Yeah.
It sounds
Sounds
Remember there was
familiar.
a remake?
That was the one with Elliot Page and who else?
Yeah. He was in that.
Olivia Wilde was in it, I believe.
Yeah, I did not even know there was a remake.
I have not seen the original. I've seen the.
I haven't
remake.
either.
Oh, and he wrote Chapelwaite, that Salem's Lot
Yes.
spinoff they did. Yeah, I didn't watch
Which
it. But
actually, another
I
noticeable
haven't-
thing I saw that he wrote was some episodes of the Salem's Lot series that had Rob Lowe in it.
oh
And he
yeah,
also
Okay.
wrote some episodes for the Nightmares and Dreamscapes miniseries.
oh yeah, very nice.
So yeah, but also did a lot of TV stuff too. It's like Andrew Fleming. Like he literally directed this. It was somewhat successful, not really, but yeah. And then he just turned into a pretty big TV writer. So there you go. I had never heard of him until watching the behind the scenes for this.
Right.
Okay.
The music was done by Graham Revel, who we've talked about on the show before because he did the music for Freddy vs. Jason.
Ooh,
Oh, cool. I love
Yep.
Freddy vs. Jason.
But he also did music for The Crow, the original Crow, The Saint, Lara Croft Tomb Raider,
Nice.
Pineapple Express,
Those are all bangers. A
Sin
wide
City,
variety.
Oh,
Yeah, Sin City.
City.
and the Ben Affleck Daredevil that I own
Oh,
2
God.
copies of. Up there. I have both the
Fuck.
full screen and the widescreen version of Daredevil. With
Damn.
Ben
Do you have the
With
Do you have the
Serious
director's
fan.
cut?
I don't know. No, I do not own
Very
the director's cut. But
It's-
if I now have 2 options to watch either in full screen or widescreen.
In defense, I will say the director's cut is a much better film. It's not a great film, but it's better than the
growing
normal
up, I actually enjoyed watching the Daredevil movie.
Me too.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so
I haven't either. I feel like I enjoyed it when I watched it as a kid too.
I loved Colin Farrell just chewing up the scenes every time he'd show up with that.
Yeah, he was
stupid, that stupid bullseye thing on his forehead.
Yeah.
But now he's the Penguin, and I heard that show's awesome. So
I've
Yeah,
been
I kinda
hearing
wanna watch
great
it. I'm
things.
intrigued.
I want to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely intrigued.
so pumped when I finally have time to actually sit down and watch it. The cinematography was done by Alexander Grushinsky. I just wanted to shout that out because the cinematography in this movie is pretty damn good for a like mid to late 90s movie.
Mhm.
He was the cinematographer for Tremors, which is almost a perfect movie.
I love Tremors.
The Page Master.
Oh,
Very
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Master, we've covered it on the
We covered
show.
that.
Page Master. I just remember the trailer that was on like every Disney fucking VHS. It was literally like coming this summer, and it was like this like epic thing. I'm like, what is this? Never saw the movie. I don't think I've ever seen the Page Master. I just remember
I
seeing the
didn't
trailer a million times.
Yeah, Anna hadn't seen it.
It
Seen it
slipped through the
sometimes,
cracks.
Someday. Crazy. He also did cinematography for another Andrew Fleming movie called Hamlet 2 because that needed a sequel.
Oh my gosh.
Well then.
Oh my god. He did some Medea movies.
oh gosh.
There you go. That's about it for that guy. It was released May 3rd, 1996 at a runtime of 101 minutes. It had a budget of $15 million and made $55.6 million at the box office. It got favorable reviews. They were in and out. It didn't bomb, but it didn't do like amazing when it first came out. It became a cult classic like a decade later. where now there's a legacy sequel or whatever that came out in
Yeah.
2020 that Fairuza
Yeah.
Balk came back for.
Oh, damn. I didn't realize that.
She's the only one who came back. It's the same
course.
movie, just worse from what I've
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Maybe one day
I haven't seen it
we'll
either.
dive into that in 5 years.
No.
All right. Well, now that we've gone through some of that, what is our history with this movie? We'll start with our guests. Anna, what's your history with TheCraft?
I think I watched this after I watched Scream, but this came out before Scream, right? Just earlier
Yes.
the
Yeah,
year.
earlier in the year.
This
Mhm.
this was Neve Campbell's first movie because she was doing Party of Five pretty much
Exactly.
while this was being made.
Was this Skeet Ulrich's first movie too? Or had he done
I
something
think
before?
so.
Possibly.
I forgot he was in this movie.
Yeah,
Dude,
we had
she texted me,
two.
was like, I forgot he was in this.
We just met him at Horror
Yeah,
Hound.
we just met him
That's
at
awesome.
Horror Hound. Yeah,
Jealous.
like a fine wine.
Huh?
Hello.
Oh, Horror Hound. I'm familiar with that convention.
Oh yeah, we love it. It's a blast. But yeah, I think I watched this after Scream, but I watched it because I realized Neve Campbell and Skeet Ulrich was in it, and I love Scream so much. And then yeah, this is one I'm a rewatcher. I have been ever since I was a kid, and it was one I would just put on consistently until I wore it out pretty much. I'm pretty sure I had the VHS, or at least it recorded onto a VHS.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
Hannah, what's your history?
So I didn't really grow up with this one. I can't pinpoint when I watched it. I know I watched it at some point when I was a kid. I don't know if it was with my cousin. Me and my cousin Ashley, we always were watching. She was the girl that I would watch horror movies with when I was growing up. And so I don't know if we had watched it together, if I'd maybe saw it on TV or something, but I know I watched it as a kid, but it just didn't. It wasn't one that really resonated with me. I was really in, like, still am, gore, slashers, and this one, Witchcraft, just wasn't my. I've always grew up religious. I still am religious, and so like Witchcraft was just not my thing. So
Didn't interest you.
yeah, it just did not interest me, and so it was just not one that I think I probably watched it. I kind of had a movie resurgence in like 2015, like around that time, and I got really into movies again, and I probably watched it again in that time, but it had been a long time, almost 10 years probably since I'd seen it again. So
All right. Angela, this is your pick for Spooktober.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to mention that at the
nice.
beginning of the episode.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
I clearly don't write anything down.
yeah.
Angela, what's your history with TheCraft?
I can't pinpoint when I first watched. Stop looking at me like that, please.
I'm just looking.
You gotta put a divider between you two during Angela. Anytime Angela talks, she just gotta pull a screen.
Because I can feel him. I'm not even looking at him in the screen, and I can.
You can
see
just
him.
feel.
Like,
Oh, I know.
stop
I
it.
hate that.
I'm looking at you because I'm intrigued what you have to say. There's not like
There.
subtlety to it. Good gosh. It's like a witch hunt.
Oh!
I mean,
Oh,
Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I can't remember when I first watched this. I know I have watched it several times. I'm gonna put it right out there. Love this movie. So glad that I was able to pick it again.
Hell
to
yeah.
watch.
Have we covered this already?
No,
Oh, okay.
so I can watch
I know
it
what you-
again. I mean,
Oh.
Right.
I was like, wait a second. Listen, I know my memory's bad.
Yeah.
You haven't talked about this movie yet.
no, no. My brain works mysterious ways. No,
I know that feeling all too well.
I have always had a witch obsession. Yes, I grew up religious, so it wasn't anything that I could like. Hey, Mom, I want to be a witch for Halloween.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Blasphemy!
Yeah.
They're the
I
carpet over
actually
a
think
pentagram.
I was. I think my mom did let me be a witch one time, but I was like, I had an old gray wig. It was like an ugly.
yeah.
It was an
Like
ugly.
the old school.
It wasn't no good looking.
As they would call it
The
now, a
crap.
generic wig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generic.
Now they're like smoking hot. You're like, whoa, wait,
Right.
what? I don't remember these witches back in the day.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Nope. I don't remember these witches.
What's happening?
No, the closest I ever got to anything like that was I was able to be a ghost one year.
Whoa.
and I don't even think it was
It's like a
actually
Beetlejuice ghost where they just put a sheet over you and cut some holes in you.
No,
Oh
it
my
was.
god, that'd be fucking sweet.
I got a gray wig, and it was like a white dress with a hood, and that was
cool.
about it. And I
Yeah.
painted my face
Pretty
white.
creative though.
Yeah.
Gotta get the clear like contact lenses, or not the clear ones, but the white ones.
Oh yeah.
I had white ones.
I know
that
it's your picture.
Yeah,
on
that
your
I
social
used.
media.
Oh, and I was so,
so
mad
cool.
because I didn't check on them and they dried out, and I was like, oh no. But yeah.
Also, Angela, gotta say, love your shirt.
Yes, I do too.
love
I
his
noticed
man.
earlier.
I saw
Yeah,
his
Bub.
eyes. I was like, wait, is that Bub?
I love him. Anywho,
Hi.
Your turn. Your
Oh,
turn, Dan.
he can look
And the
now.
fact-
He can look now.
and the fact that I love Skeet Ulrich for forever and ever.
Yes.
You were like, I want to put a love spell on you, Skeet.
Yes.
Dude,
No, we were
Follow me
watching
around
it.
like a puppy.
he is
We were
bomb.
watching it, and Dan's like, "Who is that? He looks familiar." I'm like, "That's Skeet
It's a
Ulrich."
fucking preppy ass
I-
area at the time.
I
It didn't-
follow- listen,
it
I
didn't
follow-
pick a
What do you
stream.
mean? Who is that?
He's got the jock look going on.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I follow him on social media. I'm like, damn, that dude ages well.
Let me
Him
tell you,
and
he
Matt
rocked
Lillard.
hard too because we got to touch him. Oh my gosh, dude,
Oh,
he's
excuse me.
jealous.
sexy. Oh,
Was that part of the VIP pass?
No.
Like,
no,
No.
we were
We
regular
don't pay
guests.
extra for that. Fun fact.
I'm just kidding. Not judging. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
What's your
Sorry,
history,
Dan.
Dan?
I just pissed this had nothing to do with macaroni and cheese. All right. That's all I was like. Was there a cross promotion when this came out? The Craft.
Man, that
Macaroni and
it was
cheese.
the 90s, surely.
Switch symbols. It's all the symbols from the book.
Oh,
my
dude,
gosh.
yes.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
great.
So those character ones never tasted the same as just
No!
the regular Craft.
There's like pieces of that one girl's hair in, but they just use regular spaghetti noodles,
Oh my god.
like angel hair
Just Christine
pasta.
Taylor running around. Wow, my hair.
It keeps falling out.
You'll sign
Some
her,
of Bonnie
her
burn
head.
scars in there.
There you go.
Ugh,
There you go. There you
scabs.
go.
Ew.
It's just pieces of like lasagna noodle. Like
We gotta package this. We gotta package this one. Oh, this one's this is really salty, guys. This is really salty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh god.
It
tastes like pork rinds. Dark mystery.
Air fried, and I bet it would. There you
Yeah,
go.
probably. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. All joking aside, I forgot this movie existed. I've never seen this movie because this was not my like this was not what I was looking for.
You
Right.
didn't want to be a witch growing up.
No, I did not. Like not to people who wanted to be. It wasn't what I was looking for. And I think I vaguely recall trailers to this film on other movies I watched at the time.
Yeah.
'Cause I love trailers. Like I've always been. It's been a huge fucking deal for me. Trailers, whether it's something I want to see or not, I want to watch the fucking trailer for it.
Okay.
Especially when you're at a movie theater or something. Anyway, that I have no. That's it.
Okay. Interesting.
That's
figured
it.
everybody
Just a
had seen this
shitty
movie,
joke.
honestly.
Yeah, I had too.
That's my first time watching it. So
Nice.
Speaking of trailers, everyone was bitching about the Speak No Evil trailer that played
Oh,
a lot, I
Jesus
guess.
Christ.
I
Fuck
never
that
saw
trailer.
it. I think I saw it once.
How?
I don't know.
I've seen
Every
it like
movie that I
twice.
saw,
We
it
saw
never played.
every
I
single
was like, oh, all
time.
right.
We went to the movies every weekend in July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was
there
on
you go.
it was on every movie we saw.
I just
and
remember it
then-
being like, happy
We've
not
been to the
seeing the
movies-
Speak No Evil trailer.
We've been to the well, maybe the only one was Inside Out 2. Maybe that was
Yeah,
the
they were,
only
they
one.
were
only
going in for
one.
that one.
Yeah, that one they left it out.
Just
That
bloody
one-
rage James McAvoy before Inside Out. You're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm fucking stressed. I have
Like, this is
anxiety.
anger. This is a depiction of
This is
anger.
anxiety.
The emotion. And the first new Smile 2 poster or trailer,
Yeah.
that one showed just as much as Speak No Evil. We saw
Oh,
both
yeah.
of those at every movie
Yep.
we
yeah,
went to.
Smile. I remember.
Yeah, Smile 2. There was a
Smile.
trailer that played before Beetlejuice.
Mhm.
My favorite thing, though, that has come out of Smile 2, not to sidetrack this more than we already have, the new poster they released is Jack Nicholson's son, and he looks
I know.
identical
Yeah.
to Jack Nicholson.
Yes, he
I'm
does.
I
like-
didn't even know he had a son that looked like him and was young.
I didn't
and
either.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. Yeah, as for my history, I remember seeing this on HBO a long time ago, and I think I saw it once and went, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and then just never. I remember seeing like clips of it here and there all over the place when it comes to like top 100 horror movies or some any of those documentaries on like Shudder or whatever about horror movies, the Craft would always come up. But for me, it was like, I seen it. It was fine. I didn't really care to see it again. And to be honest, I was really excited when Angela picked it because I was like, oh man, I love rediscovering movies after a long time because I have not seen this since I was a kid. So it's fun to go through it.
It was either going to be this one or Practical Magic.
Can I
tell
tell you?
About witches.
I have never seen Practical Magic.
I don't think I have either.
I know. I know. I'm going to get like shunned.
I haven't either. So,
but it's one I've always wanted to watch. I might have to write that wrong.
Sandra Bullock. Is it Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah.
Or is it Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman?
Right here, I'm looking it up. Let's see.
And the woman from Greece. What's her name?
Olivia Newton-John?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Stalker Channing.
Stalker Channing.
Stalker Channing.
I knew it was a weird name.
Yeah, she plays Rizzo in Grease. I love Grease.
Yeah, Rizzo. Yeah, she's in it too.
But yeah, okay, yeah, no, I do not think I've seen this.
Oh, well, please watch it.
Yeah.
We'll
just cover it and invite them on. Let's invite them again.
Hell yeah. Just schedule a date later on.
Yeah.
Or take her. Or she can go on your show. However, y'all figure that shit out.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You just giving me away.
We're
Yeah,
so
close. Be free.
So cool.
I think too, The Craft is one of those movies that resonated more with young females and teenage females, girls coming of age and hitting puberty and changes and all that stuff. There's a lot of metaphors for that as well. I don't think it hits it as good as say Ginger Snaps, but it's up there, and I think it did resonate with a lot of kids.
Yeah, because for me it was like when I came to a movie about witches, it was like Hocus Pocus. I watched Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, me too.
Every year. I still do. I watch it every year in October.
Oh yeah,
that was my witch movie, and now there's like witch movies all over the place. Now we have like the dark and gritty one, like the Vivitch.
The Vivitch.
Yeah,
that's how you have to say it like that. It is two V's, not connected. It's the Vivitch.
Vivitch.
Yeah. So going through the cast of this, we have Robin Tunney as Sarah Bailey. She had to wear a wig the entire production of this movie because she filmed Empire Records, which
she shaved her head.
She shaved her head for that.
Yeah.
And when she came in for an audition for this movie, I think Andrew Fleming called her like a weirdo or something because her hair was only like an inch long or something like that. So she threw on a wig. Fairuza Balk is back, everybody. We talked about her early this season with Return to Oz. She played a little girl in that.
Young in that.
Oh, she was a little girl in that one.
Yeah.
Playing the cute, innocent Dorothy, and now she's playing the freakazoid that is Nancy Downs.
Yeah.
She went from one side to way out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Way.
We call her off the deep end, Nancy. We have Neve
She's
Campbell.
almost famous too.
Yeah.
She was in The Water Boy. I love it.
Yeah.
She was the sign.
I love her.
Want me to kill him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's great. She is great. I heard she was a very an interesting character during the production of this because I guess she was very much involved in the source material.
Yeah, like in Wiccan or whatever.
Oh yeah, she was. She actually owns a store very similar to the one that's in this movie. I guess till like 2015. When she sold it off, or maybe it was even later than that. But yeah, she was very much into this stuff. So when there were certain things happening, she was very much like, yeah, we're fucking with some dark shit here. Like, we need to be careful. And then you have the other actors like Robin Tunney was just like, it just was a coincidence. Like, things happen. Because you got the scene on the beach where they're doing the chanting and all that stuff. And then I guess the tide took out the ceremonial pillar or whatever the heck whatever you call that area that they're doing all the rituals at.
Yeah.
And you have half of the crew going, oh my god, this is so crazy, what's happening, are we messing with things? And then you have Robin Tunney coming out going, it's the ocean, it does stuff. That's what it does. It's the tides.
Yeah.
You're like, it's so funny because that's literally in the same like behind the scenes like making a video. It's just like, it's the ocean.
It's just the ocean.
Crazy.
Oh man. Nev Campbell is Bonnie Harper. Like we said before, in her very first role. Oh my God, Nev Campbell.
Yes.
Rachel
She's
True.
the Green Queen.
Rachel True as Rochelle Zimmerman. They pretty much rewrote her entire character when she was cast, because originally they had they like auditioned a bunch of white actresses, and then when they like she was the only like black actress that they auditioned, and pretty much she got it as soon as she auditioned, and they pretty much went and redesigned her whole character.
Wow.
Giving the whole motivation behind what she does because of racial bullying,
Yeah.
which wasn't the case before. Yeah. Christine Taylor, speaking of the bully behind Rochelle, Christine Taylor is Laura Lizzie. The funniest thing about this character is that in this movie, and we're going to talk about it more when we go through the plot, is that her character goes bald in this movie. Well, if you're a Friends fan like me, she is in Friends, and her character is literally a girl who likes to shave her head. It's one of Phoebe's friends. She shaves her head, and then literally she dates Ross, and Rachel gets jealous and like convinces her to shave her head again so that Ross would break up with her. So,
I think I do remember that now that you say that. I didn't watch it religiously. I've watched it all the way through once, but that's about it.
So many times, and I'm not even ashamed of it.
That's okay. It's a good show.
Ski Ulrich as Chris Hooker. I like how he's called a horror in this movie a bunch of times, and his last name is Hooker. I didn't even know that.
It's gotta live up to his name.
Yeah, shit is what he should have been called. Breckin Meyer as Mitt. To be honest, the only thing I can think of with Breckin Meyer is the Garfield movies, and he was in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
As a young kid. Yep.
Yeah, and he's also a piece of shit in this movie. I don't know about him in real life. And then Nathaniel Marston as Trey. I guess he was just the other friend.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff DeYoung as Mr. Bailey, Sarah's dad. Assumpta Serna as Lirio, which was the shop owner. Helen Shaver as Grace Downs, which was Nancy's mom. Brenda Strong as the doctor, and all I can think of with her is does anybody here watch Seinfeld?
I've seen enough of it.
Okay, she played a character whose whole thing was that she
didn't
wear a bra. She was a character who doesn't wear a bra, and then Elaine says something to her, then she just walks around with only a bra. Yeah,
that's fine.
I was like, what? That's that woman. I can't remember what her character's name was.
She was in Starship Troopers too.
The bra woman.
Oh,
yes, she is.
You probably saw Oliver in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man. So this there was a lot of screen tests for the 4 original cast members. It was like Angelina Jolie was in there, Scarlett Johansson, Alicia Silverstone, which at one point my wife literally was watching it looking at Robin Tunney going, is that the girl from Clueless? And I went, Alicia Silverstone? No. She's like, she looks identical to her. I was like, oh,
she does.
I kind of see
very similar.
Robin Tunney, though, a funny connection between Robin Tunney and Alicia Silverstone. They both were in a movie with Chris O'Donnell. One of them was an entertaining movie. The other one is Batman and Robin.
I was about to say, is it Batman and Robin?
Shit.
Robin Tunney was in Vertical Limit.
I remember that movie.
Which was a climbing Mount Everest type movie.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You just unlocked like a core memory. I have not heard that title of movie.
I don't think I don't remember that.
The makeup effects and all that were done by Tony Gardner, who has worked on so many things. He's a huge part of the Chucky franchise now. He did one of his first works was back for Return of the Living Dead. He actually created the zombie corpse, the half corpse that gets put on the
Tarman.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, the corpse.
Well, it might have been involved with Tarman. No, it was the one. It was like
she
the one who talks to them.
Yeah, they give a little bit of blood.
The one who kills the pedo, the real life pedo.
Probably the one that tells them why they need brains. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his daughter did a documentary last year called "Living with Chucky" about her like life living with him while he was making all those movies.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
cool.
cool.
That's cool.
All right, well, if I see anything that I care to talk about when it comes to behind the scenes stuff, if you guys have anything, let me know. But let's get into this plot because there's a lot to talk
Please.
about. So, are we ready? It is time to dissect.
Dissect.
That. Oh! I love when the guests come in. I don't care where you come in. I love when everyone gets included here.
Enthusiasm.
So we meet our titular coven. Is that how we should consider them? Are they a coven? I don't know how many witches make up a coven, but
I think you need 3 to have a coven.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I watched that American.
I think you're right. I think that's accurate.
That's a good season.
That is that's like my favorite season.
And then show gets crazy. So yeah, they're doing their thing. We get some trippy visuals, which then turn into the title card. And then we get a I'm guessing a Beatles cover. I've never heard of this song. Tomorrow Never Know. It's being sung by Our Lady Peace, but I guess it was written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon. So I'm guessing
it's a Beatles
song.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
So then we meet Sarah. She's moving into a new home, and the house. They literally walk into this house, and there's just water everywhere, just leaking. Like, oh, this is fun. I'm not staying here. As soon as I walk into the door, I'm not staying here.
Listen,
this house is gorgeous, by the way. When it beautiful house.
Yeah.
With the amount of water that is in that home, do you know how long and how expensive it would be to fix that fucking problem?
Yeah.
This dude must make.
I do. This is what I do is water remediation.
Okay.
Fucking lots of work, a lot of time, a lot of work, lots and lots of money.
A lot of faith.
Like not worth it. Knock it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I like here's hypothetical. So we were just context. We were at a job. We had a job we estimate quoted for a lady. It was a gut of her basement. Older lady, never goes downstairs except to wash. Everything was saturated. She didn't realize how bad of a leak she had. It was like $25K.
Oh yeah.
That's not even that's not cost for the replacement. That's the gut. Because we'd have to walk in full hazmat and everything. Yeah. There was mold everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to work I still kind of do work in real estate, but on the title company side of it now. But I used to work for a big realtor here in town, and I was like her assistant. And yeah, I mean, you just would not believe how much some of that stuff costs. And people just don't even know. And then they're trying to sell it, and these inspectors come in and they find this stuff, and these people are like blown away because they didn't even realize it.
Yep.
Scary, kind of.
It's crazy.
It's very.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me how long it would take to drive from San Francisco to LA, where they had to take a plane?
I have no idea.
I was like, where is she coming from? I was like, where is she coming from? And then you find out they lived in San Francisco. I went,
oh yeah. It's
I mean, I understand California is a huge state. What is this? Got to be like I feel like it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. Like that's not that bad. Like I'm not flying.
I don't know how far apart they are. I know from
6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what.
That's just because they have money,
I'm
dude.
saying like maybe I would then fly.
Okay.
If they were broke motherfuckers like the rest of us, we'd drive.
Like, yeah, okay, Angela, you're looking up on the internet, it tells you. All right, I don't believe it.
Lying.
I don't know.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet, Angela.
Sometimes Google Maps does some funky stuff and sends you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it does.
My favorite thing about Google Maps is when we're driving on the hills to go do work and stuff, and it's like you have your GPS on, and you're like, that looks like the road. You drive past it 200 or 300 feet, turn right. I'm like, guys, I'm already fucking past it. Like, please.
Hey, for anyone listening or watching, if you're watching on YouTube right now, or even if you're listening, go to our YouTube and write and type into the comments what episode Dan told that exact same story. And it's a recent one.
Oh, shit, I did.
Maybe you'll win a prize. I got some extra stickers around here. Maybe you'll win a prize.
Yes, go do that.
So go to the comments and tell us what episode Dan told that exact same story on.
Damn, he remembers it and I don't.
I don't know how I remember it. I just it's because the episode wasn't that long ago, and I probably. You know, from listening to it 3 times already.
When I was leaving when I was leaving Pigeon Forge the other day, it kept telling me to turn onto the road that I was already on. And I'm like, I'm on the road.
I know. It's terrible over there, dude. It sucks.
Oh,
anyway.
God.
I'm like, I'm not over
Pigeon
here. I'm over
Forge,
here.
whole nother animal.
Yes. It was
So
so
much.
bad.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't drive by myself much in places like that because I hate.
Oh, you
I
already
hate
know.
it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realize the chauffeur's glued on the title once you get married. Like,
I know. She makes
Comes
sure
with
I
the
drive
title.
because I'm a terrible passenger. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just keep fucking with buttons, and she's like, "Stop."
So when what's this character's name again? Sarah.
Sarah.
Jesus Christ.
Sarah
You're so
Harding.
off track. Sarah.
How many Sarahs are
Harding!
in this movie?
Did you guys immediately go, oh, that must be a picture of her mom? Because I thought that was her mom, because they never clarify that it's her stepmom. It's always like dad, clearly dad, woman, so you think mother. And then she's sad putting things away, and then she takes out a picture of another woman, and I went, mom? Okay, now we're gonna step. They don't tell you this.
Teacher.
Yeah.
I must not have seen this woman because I never saw her for the rest of the movie.
The stepmom? You don't.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yep.
don't.
You don't.
So I was like,
saying.
there's a stepmom.
I don't think you see
What
her
happened?
anymore.
You don't really see the dad much in this movie. He shows up for like one scene in the middle, and then he shows up. Does he show up at the end? I don't remember.
Yeah, like for a split second because he talks
Yeah.
to the girls.
Oh, right.
And then he
That's
shows
right,
up when Chris dies because he's
Right.
like rubbing her
Yeah.
back or what, and she's like, "Leave me alone." Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
That's me.
All right, I'll see you in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So then a homeless guy just wanders into their house. And he's
Normal.
he's just
Yeah.
holding a snake. And he's like, I found this out. This is exactly what he says. I found this out back. You want it back?
He just wants to show her.
Dude, I did not realize how accurate this movie would be to like modern day California.
Uh,
I just kidding.
Yeah.
So-
Just relax.
so dad comes down the stairs. He chases him out of the house. I guess the guy drops the snake because it shows the dad hitting something on the ground. So I'm guessing he killed the snake. Off screen though, not like Friday the 13th that killed an actual snake.
Yeah.
Ugh,
They learned their lesson.
poor snake.
16 years later.
Or snake.
So she's in a new town, so she's got a new school, and she's like, "Screw this! I'm not hanging out with you, Dad, watching TV all day." And I went,
I want to watch
with you?
TV.
"I want to watch
I
TV
know.
with my dad all day long."
I just want to watch TV.
And you find out, like, so you meet the trio of Nancy Fruzbalk, Bonnie, Nev Campbell, and it's Rochelle, right? That's how you say it?
Rochelle, yeah.
Yeah, Rochelle.
And they are, they're walking down the hallway, and everyone kind of either makes fun of them or just kind of like avoids them. And then you have the douchebags that consist of Skeet Ulrich and Brecken Meyer, and God, they're the worst. There's
The other guy.
Yeah, and that other dude. The other dude who says like 2 lines in this entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the scenes I would have probably said the same exact thing. Well, later on. But yeah, they're assholes. They're giving them, calling them freaks and all that. And they go into this whole thing about how they need a 4th for their group to have like one person for each pole or something like that, or one corner. It's like east,
Yeah.
north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to figure out who it's going to be. They're in French class where the teacher only speaks in French, and I guess that's a lot of French classes. My French teacher used to do the same shit. You just used to speak French all the time. It's like, you do realize we just
Immersion.
started. I don't fucking know what's happening right now.
You got to give
Help
us
me.
some time.
And that's probably why I got out of French, went to Latin, and did well in Latin because I cheated a lot.
I took French in
I was
middle
gonna say,
school,
that's worse.
so I feel like they were a little more lenient in middle school.
Yeah.
But
They were giving you
then when
like
I went to
one
high school, I
word
took
French
Spanish.
words. I was like, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Our French teacher did that, but we also had a day where if we needed to ask any questions, we also had to ask in French.
French.
So if you needed to go to the bathroom, it's like, oh, shit.
Wee wee.
Now I have to figure this out.
Oh,
Oh,
I
man.
need to drain my penis. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Oh, nailed it.
Got it. She's like, go to the principal's office. Son of a bitch.
It gets you to the bathroom.
It does. 'Cause I'm going there first before I go to the principal's office.
We had awards at the end of our French class, French 2, and I got voted hamster bladder because I peed so much.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I knew how to ask how to find the bathroom.
What's hamster bladder in French?
I don't even know.
It's like the most important thing she learned. She like literally studied like, may I please use the restroom? May I please use the restroom? Over and over again.
No, I do not.
Okay, do you
I
guys-
only remember open your books is Uwe Relivra, and that's it.
I don't
That's the
remember.
only
Sounds
thing I
about right
remember.
from here. I don't.
Do you guys remember any weird facts about like foreign language classes you took? Like weird words for some odd reason you still remember?
Nope.
I took I made the odd decision to take German instead of Spanish, so I can count. I can still count.
How high?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can count to 12.
I can oddly remember. It's like you. I took German. Don't remember almost nothing. I can count to 100 in German.
No shit.
No, I
Dang.
no, yeah.
I just know
Like,
9.
I was
9. Right?
Nine.
No, that's 9 is
No,
no.
that's not it.
There's
Yeah, 9 is no.
phrases I can remember too, but for some reason,
Nope.
what stuck the most is the numbers.
Yep, that's about it for me. So what are you gonna say, Hannah? You were gonna say something?
I was gonna say I think I remember biblioteca. I think that's library. Isn't that
Yes.
library in Spanish?
Yes,
okay,
I think
yeah.
so.
I remember
I didn't even
that.
take Spanish, but I feel like that's a
random
word. That's a word they would
sounds
always
like
like make fun of. Like they would always throw into like movies about high school.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's taking Spanish and like somebody would just say
Probably why I
that word.
remember
And
it.
you're like, oh, okay.
To me,
love
that
it.
sounds
was
like a
from
nightclub,
Duolingo.
like some kind of nightclub,
Yeah,
like
sounds
a Bible
sweet ass
nightclub.
thing.
Talking
Yeah,
about
like-
school, this movie reminded me of The Faculty, which I hadn't. Anna showed me The Faculty recently. I cannot
so good.
believe that I had not seen it until when I did. But yeah, this movie just drips the 90s so much.
Oh yeah,
And it reminded me of The Faculty a lot, and I love The
I love
Faculty.
the faculty.
And like other 90s movies about high school, all the actors were 25 to 30 years old.
Yeah,
yeah.
Normal.
Rochelle
his
was
high
like,
school characters.
yeah, Rochelle was like 30 or just about to turn 30.
Yeah.
and she was
Yeah.
cast as a high school student.
Yeah,
Crazy.
The fuck? Now you're seeing high school movies where like the actors are closer to the ages or they just look
Right.
like they're 12.
yeah,
Hey, when you can
Like,
pass
perfect.
for being younger,
Yeah.
take it.
yeah.
I,
Run with
I
that
get
as long
people
as you
that
can.
do not believe me when I tell them how old I am, and I'm like, thank you.
Yep. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Every day.
love it.
So when they're in French class, Sarah does some trick with her pencil and like digs it into her desk. And Bonnie's watching the whole thing and she's like, "Oh shit, this is the one." So she
Mhm.
goes to tell Nancy and Nancy's just like, whatever. And then Sarah comes up to like ask to sit with them and she kind of like blows her off. So she's like, "Well, fuck you then," and leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when she meets Chris, played by Skeet Ulrich, and he tells her all about them, about their nickname, the Bitches of Eastwick, and I went, "Oh, good one, bro."
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah.
Great name.
I do love her response where he's like, "Hey, so I got like football practice later. You want to come?" And she's like, "Oh, exciting." Football practice, so tempting.
Yeah. She's like, oh,
But then
yeah.
goes to the practice where you're just like, "You come
But
on."
it's
looks
the
good.
delivery too, because he's like, "You got plans later?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"No." And he's like, "Well, I do. I've got football." Dude, shut
know.
up.
Right.
Shut up. Like, you
Cream.
come
Sucks
watch
ass.
me. Oh my gosh.
Anytime I
guy.
talk about Chris or his friends, this is how I'm gonna talk like, "What's up,
Okay. That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's,
So,
that's exactly how it does.
man?"
What's up? Hey, girl.
with his like elementary school haircut he had.
Yeah.
The hell is that?
Yeah.
I like you
that-
do in Scream. You did good with the
He
Scream
looks-
hairdo.
yeah.
man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So she goes to the practice and she runs into Nancy, Bonnie, and Rochelle. They talk shit about Chris and Sarah kind of joins in on the whole thing. And then Bonnie is the one who loves to just tell everyone's like shit. She's like, "Yeah, Nancy Nancy did stuff with Chris too, and he fucked her over. And then you just see Nancy with her like glare. Yeah, he might have gave me some diseases. I'm like, holy shit! What the fuck? I don't remember this.
Shouldn't you get checked for that?
Yeah.
Instead of just wandering.
I guess 1996. You just went, oh, it burns.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Is this like normal? Ah, fuck it.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's normal.
Oh man.
Then it just gets really dark as they're walking down the streets of LA, because this was filmed in LA, and I think that's technically where this takes place. And you see the Bonnie points out the scars on Sarah's wrists, and you get the whole thing where it's like, oh, what'd you do there? She's like, I slit my wrists. And Bonnie goes, oh, you did it the right way. And I went,
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do like, though, I think it's Rochelle who's like, what's the right way? Like, she questions it, or one of them questions kind of that response. It was weird, but like, it's like, oh my God, this movie just like, this movie
I feel like
dark.
I feel like Bonnie, this is kind of dark too, but if you think about it, maybe Bonnie had thought of committing suicide because of her skin problems. You know, later on in the movie when she's clean of them, she's like living it up and she's super hot now. I mean, she was always pretty, but she just didn't have that confidence. And plus it was the 90s where you got made fun of quite a bit if you were different. And so yeah, it's just, I feel like she might have thought about that and considered it and was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it the right way. So maybe that's how she knew.
So Robin Tunney, I guess her character in was it Empire Records, she also was like a suicidal character. And actually her character in that one had the scars going the other way. So it's like, wow, 2 movies in a row. That's dark.
Pretty dark character.
Yeah.
Well, not meaning to cut to the end either, but like towards the end when all that stuff's going on with Sarah and the other girls, when they slit her wrist, they do it the wrong way that time.
Right. Yep.
When Nancy and I was like, yeah.
So they go to the I'm going to call it the spiritual shop. Do you guys know what this technically these shops are called? I can't remember.
Just a witchy shop, I guess. I don't know.
The witchy shop.
There's this whole thing where they go back. There's like a curtain back there, but I think Sarah tries to open it, and the shopkeeper is like, "No, you are not allowed to look behind the curtain."
Yeah,
and
that's where all the adult movies are at.
Yep. All the naughty witchcraft.
It's like, why didn't you use beads? Beads are better.
Yeah, all right. Beads really keep them out.
I feel extra dirty when I go through the beads.
Yeah.
How often do you wash these beads?
What would remember when we used to create porn names for every movie we reviewed? What would the porn for the, which I guarantee exists?
This has been okay, I don't know, but give me a second to think about that.
All right.
I was thinking, because you brought this up, I've been trying to remember this, and what you have on screen.
I know. I figured since we have the ladies have taken over the show, that we should talk about topics like this.
Pornography.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking
I
this
did
like
come up with a porn name one time. Thank you.
if you were to have a secret porn account somewhere, what would your account name be? And I've been thinking about this.
I'm not going to tell people.
No, I'm not. Don't tell me because I don't want to look. I'm just saying. I was thinking about this, and
He
it was
already has
something
one.
I was listening to. I'm gonna give Adam Blank kudos for this one. I would suddenly gain a lot of weight, and my name would be Daddy's Chubby Little Secret.
Oh my god!
I want to know how you plan on gaining weight because
I'll pad it out.
You'll do it like old school movies where they're just
try.
like, hey, guy, put a pillow under your shirt. And you're just like, why?
Just get one of those like
So
pregnant
you look
belly
bigger, and it's like,
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
look
A beer belly.
ridiculous. Yeah.
We'll blend it. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It doesn't have to be like an explicit account. We'll figure something out.
All right, Dan. As I continue, you figure
I'll
out
think
the
of a
name.
name.
And just
Okay.
we'll talk about it later.
I got so
Oh,
much I'd
man.
like to say now, but I'm trying to be nice. Go ahead.
Sarah is super sarcastic. I love it. Where she picks out a few things, and she goes up and she gets her the black and red candles. It's like one is for love and one is for something else. I can't remember. And she's like, do you know how to use a candle? She's like, yeah, light the wick. Like,
Yeah.
This question. And she gives her a book. The book she gives her is called TheCraft, which I don't know if a lot of people pick up on that.
I
Because
know
it's not really, it doesn't really focus on it. You kind of have to look really close to notice that that's the name of the book. So they're walking home, and do they all just separate? Because it seems like Sarah's all by herself when that homeless man from the earlier in the movie just shows up again with a snake. I was like, wait, that snake is dead. He's like, hey, can I come back to your house and give you your snake back?
Yeah, she freaks out and kind of takes off running, and I think that's what causes them to separate.
Okay.
And he's trying to warn her. Like, if you listen to him, he's trying to warn her because he's having dreams about her being covered, like her house being full of snakes and stuff, I think, or something like that. And that happens at the end.
And we have some great dummy work where he wanders into the road, gets hit by a truck, and the camera just goes to under the truck, and it's just a dummy getting smoked.
Yes,
because right after it cuts to the actual guy in the road, just
I know. Because I was like, dude, right over his head. Yes, I said his head's exploded like that tire, and then it cuts to him, and he's just laying there. I was like, what?
they're like, we know this is rated R, but we can't go that far. We can't have these but we can't do a Toxic Avenger style kill here.
And why not?
I wish.
Like, whoa, we didn't do a child. But yeah, they determine that she's the fourth of the group, but she's kind of like, yeah, you guys are kind of weirding me out. I'm gonna get out of here. Because it's more, she gets weirded out because they mention Manon, which is like this deity that they worship that gives them their powers. And Nancy's just extra when it comes to him because she always like, if you notice throughout the entire movie, she never, like, when she talks about him, she always talks about him like as a singular person. Like, she wants these things. Like, it's not for the group, it's for her. Like, even from this point, you kind of pick up on it. Like, she's all about it, like, for herself. Like, they're just here because she needs them in order to do this summoning, which would happen later on.
It's all a means to an end.
I felt bad for Nancy too. And then, like, I hate when they make a character, they give her such a shitty like, not shitty and like bad writing, but like they give her a pretty shitty life. And then like things start to work out for her, and then she turns into like this full-blown villain, and you're just like, oh man, I was starting to feel for you.
Well, honestly, they all kind of turn that way. Not necessarily Sarah, but the other three kind of get what they want and turn into bitches, for lack of better words.
Yeah. There's we'll talk more about it when we get to the end about like what I feel is going on with the other two.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't feel it's all about them. I don't feel it's all under their control what they're doing. Everything starts to unravel. But she just starts getting weirded out because it's pointed out like, you're a natural witch. Like, we kind of had to study things and obtain these powers from doing these rituals and all that, but you just are able to do things, like, because she's mentioning all these things that she's been able to do over the course of her life. And it was like, one of them was like, oh, I thought I really wanted it to rain and like a pipe burst in my house and like flooded my bedroom or something like that. So like, she's able to just like summon these things to happen. So Sarah hangs out with Chris even after being warned not to, because he's a dirtbag. And he pretty much is like, hey, my parents aren't home. You want to come home with me? And she's like, no, I don't. I want to go home. And he's like, alrighty then, whatever.
Such a prick.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah. And this is where we see Laura for the first time, Christine Taylor's character. Which, another fact for anyone who didn't know this, she was married to Ben Stiller for a long time. I don't know if they're still married. I know that there was the whole thing with them a few years ago.
I think they got back together.
Okay. I know they've been together for a very long time.
Yeah. Dodgeball, Zoolander.
Oh, yeah.
Zoolander. Love it.
What is this? A house for ants? I'm not a big fan of Zoolander, but I love that.
The look. Oh my God, I love Zoolander. God. I watched that way too young. Way too young.
I refuse to see the sequel. I've heard nothing. About
I've heard about. Yeah, I haven't watched it.
it. Well, back to this. The next day, they're at school, and Sarah is told by the rest of the group that Chris is spreading rumors about her, that she slept with him and all that. And then she goes to confront him, and he's just like, I just don't want to see you again. I don't think we'll, go out again. And I was like, oh, I really wanted her to just fucking right in the mouth.
Oh, I know. Me too.
I would have applauded in my living room. I would have been like, yes, you go, Sarah. But yeah, she just gives him a fuck you. This is a great response. Like, as much, this dude's a piece of shit. But when she is like, fuck you, and he just turns around and goes, nah. And I went, I want to hate you. I do hate you. That was a fucking good response, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, oh my gosh.
Oh, I still hate you.
The worst.
This is where you find out that Laura is a racist.
Yes.
I wrote the word she says, but I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. It's not good.
I did not remember that about this movie.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
Wow. I was like, oh, okay. The way she says it, no, I'm just not gonna say it. It's bad. Watch the movie if you want to know what she said. But yeah, she sucks. She's a racist piece of shit. The whole thing with Rochelle is that she's a diver. And every time she goes to dive, she gets distracted, or she gets, something gets yelled at her during her dive by Laura and her friends, and it messes her up. So, yeah, she sucks. We're there with Bonnie, and she is getting some sort of procedure done, which, to be honest, you're not told about her scars, right? Up until this point. Like, this is where you find out that she has all these, like, burn scars on her back.
Chris mentions them when he's talking to Sarah about them. He says the Bonnie.
Right. So I feel like when he's explaining that, it's more of just his, like, some sort of exaggerated story because they're the freaks.
So you thought it was joking?
Weirdo. So it's like, yeah, she's like, oh yeah, Bonnie. That's why she covers. She's covered by horrible scars, and you're just like, okay, it's just some messed up story to kind of justify why she's always bundled up and never showing. Anything. But then you actually see she has these horrific burn scars on her back, and this is a pretty tough scene where she is like laying on her stomach and she's like grabbing onto this chair, and her mom is like with her, and they're like just kind of doing these like needle things, and it's like her like expressing her pain and then her just letting out that scream.
I
was like, damn. And then we're with Sarah, she's sleeping, and then she has a nightmare about her suicide attempt, and then she wakes up, and then that kind of just doesn't really play in anything later on. It's just kind of a premonition, I guess, or just
maybe
kind of for her to wake up into a cold sweat and be like, what the fuck was that? Then we see Nancy's living situation, and she lives with her mom and her boyfriend, stepdad. What the hell is this guy? He sucks.
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah.
His name is Ray.
Stepdad, because they're married. Yeah.
She's a drunk. The mom is a drunk, and the stepdad is kind of just probably a lazy drunk too. And they're always fighting. He's a perv too. There was like a scene where she's like standing there with her in her towel, and he's like peeking. I'm like, bro.
Shoot.
Yeah. So gross.
God damn.
Nasty.
Yeah. This is when you start to like. This is when you're like, oh shit. Nancy's she's got it rough. Because you see it earlier where she doesn't really react to a lot of the stuff that's going on with the group. Like, she's there with them, but she's not reacting with everybody else. So like the other two would be talking with Sarah, and they're like, oh, hey Nancy, Sarah did this, and she's just like either ignores them, or it's just very separated from the rest of the group. And then when you see how her life is, you're like, okay, this is kind of, she is, you want to believe that she wants to gain this power so she can give herself a better life, which ultimately it kind of does.
Yeah.
But then she takes the step too far and kind of causes the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that Sarah is the only one that really has any powers. I don't think any of the other one. I think Sarah is the reason why they all now have powers.
Yeah.
Because I'm going back to the end again, but towards the end when they're the two girls, Bonnie and Rochelle, come up there, and she's like, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
We don't have any powers.
Yeah, we don't have any powers anymore.
Yeah, she's like, do you still have the powers? Yeah, to Sarah. And she's like, and they start walking off, and they're like, oh, she doesn't have any powers. And then the tree falls down. So Sarah, and so I think Nancy is realizing that the reason why they all have the powers now is because of Sarah, and she's getting jealous. And I think that's why she starts coming more into herself and kind of acting a little weird when they're all like kind of praising Sarah. And I think even Rochelle makes the comment, we're able to do all this stuff because of you. Like they're realizing, like even Bonnie and Rochelle realize it. And I think Nancy's getting a little jealous too, as part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe that's the case. Like, I could totally see that. I do remember reading that was an original script idea. So when I read that, I was like, oh, so that's not what this is. If this is an original script idea, then they have powers in this one, but it makes more sense watching it and you explaining it. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because you never see them doing any
without
using some sort of powers
Sarah
beforehand. You just see them kind of doing the circle ritual,
Yeah.
And just
in the
like
beginning.
with Bonnie too, and with her, she had that procedure done first. And then right after that is when they did the four corners thing or whatever you invoke the spirit. And they think they all got powers after that, and they're all cured and they're all getting their ways.
Right.
So, it's like it could be, but then there's also a logical reason why it couldn't be.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where faith comes in.
Yeah. Because you do
What
have
do you all think? Do you all think that they had powers the whole time, or or is it all from Sarah? Let us know. I do. I'm going to be the one to believe it. It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, they go on a field trip. By that, they're just going to a field. So literally going to a field trip.
That's true. That's 100% accurate. Yes.
Just do a random field.
I just wanted Sarah to walk into the field and go, oh, you were literally literally went to a field. Okay. So
Opportunity, Sarah.
Sir. All right. I do love though when they get off the bus and the bus driver's like, watch out for the weirdos, and Nancy's like, we are the weirdos. And she puts on her glasses and it's like, yeah. It's like CSI Miami. Yeah. Boom, boom. David Caruso comes out of the forest. Today's episode's about witches. This is when the coven gets created. They do it's like the perfect love and perfect what the fuck does that word say? Clearly, I need to have
perfect
better
love and
handwriting.
perfect trust, I think.
Trust. Yes, that's the word that's written there. Thank you.
It's not Taco Bell.
And
just making sure. I just want to.
also, do you think the movie As Above, So Below watched this movie, like the creators, and went, that's what we should name our movie. It has nothing to do with TheCraft, but I love that title. As Above,
yeah, that's what
so below.
Very
that's what I thought when I heard that, but I was like, it's like an old thing.
Shut up,
like a really old saying.
Yeah.
That's
I want to believe it, okay?
You believe, sir.
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know.
Neither have I.
Oh, it's good. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do remember I enjoyed it.
I watched a movie about the Paris catacombs. It wasn't that one. It was on Screenbox, and I reviewed it a long time ago. I don't remember the name of it, but it was good. That's all I got.
Go find it somewhere, guys. Look for it.
We then we get the ritual where they all squirt some blood into a cup and each drink and kind of name off something that they're going to that they want to happen in their life.
Yeah.
And
are you feeling what I'm putting down here?
What?
Did you get it?
I already thought about it before.
It just hit you right now the way he fucking said that shit.
4 girls, 1 cup instead of 2 girls.
Oh.
I was more talking about you said 4 girls, they squirt blood into a cup or whatever. And I'm just like, they are ladies. Is it that time? It's like, good. God.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
that's
Parker
great.
just puts the headset up,
All right.
drops it, walks off.
I'm
Nope.
sorry. That was a joke for a long time.
Oh man,
Been
I will
boiling
never
inside
forget
Angela for
the
a long
first.
time.
I have seen Two Girls One Cup. I will never forget it. Never.
I've seen a lot of things on the internet.
I
If
remember
you have
even-
not seen
Horrific.
it, I will give you PSA right now. If you have not seen it, please do not look it up.
No,
Please don't.
Save
No.
yourself.
Do
Save your
yourself.
eyeballs.
Oh my god.
This isn't even one of those like, oh, I should do it because they're telling me not to.
Mm-mm.
Like, seriously,
No.
don't
Yeah.
do it.
No.
When I was in high school, I used to watch some weird shit. And I remember somebody in my class coming up to me like, "Dude, have you seen this video?" Two girls. I was like, "No, no," especially because it came from a certain person who always showed me fucked up videos, and I went, "Nah, I'm not falling
Nah.
for this one, dude." And they're like, "Oh, dude, have you ever seen?" Oh fuck, it was like I think it was called like Chocolate Castle or something. I was like, "No,
Shoo.
nope,
Chocolate
you don't want to know what
That's
that
so
one's
promising.
about." No.
So now I makes me think of Urban Dictionary.
Oh
Like
gosh,
Alabama
Urban
Hot Pocket and
Dictionary.
stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Don't look that one up. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my lord.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, so Nancy gets a little overboard and she pretty much wants Manon all for herself.
Uh-huh.
And I went, maybe the other three should be like, I don't think this is how this is supposed to go. But they're all like super pumped for what's about to happen, so I guess they just ignore the creepiness that is Nancy. Then butterflies
also-
show up.
I'm like, why did Sarah want Chris? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why did she want him to like her? He is a
Nothing.
douche.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
after what he did to
Massive
her.
douche.
That thing to her.
Yes.
Like,
I
why?
thought, okay, well, maybe she'll like want to do something like mean to him or something. But no, she like wants him to like her, which once he does start liking her, she does kind of use him. So that was good.
Yeah.
But
I
because
guess-
he deserved it.
Yeah.
But
Was it more for her for
but-
him to like her, or was it kind of a punishment because now she can control him?
yeah, I don't know.
Very true.
It could go both
Yeah, 'cause-
I
ways.
think it was a
'cause I
little
was
bit of both. Because
Yeah,
if she
I
didn't
think so
like,
too.
If she didn't like him at least a little, she wouldn't have kept going back to him. Because
Yeah.
anytime, well, I mean, it could have been too. She didn't have anybody else to go to, but I don't know. I'll be alone before I fuck with somebody like that.
Yeah,
But
me
anytime
too.
she like felt weird about the other girls, she would go to Chris pretty much, and
Yeah.
then
And
like,
yeah,
every time that happens, something bad happens.
Yeah, after the whole thing with him spreading a rumor about them sleeping together, and then him just being an asshole, I've been like, yeah, well, I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's why I feel like it's more of a punishment that she is having him do all these things. But it's also, it also just kind of falls flat. Like it makes her look like an idiot too, because all these
Yeah.
things are happening. So she's like, what the fuck? How do I stop
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Just have to let it run its course.
Yep. Yeah, we get butterflies though that happen after the ritual, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
good things are about to
This
happen.
is
to these ladies.
awesome.
Yeah, good things are gonna good juju for these ladies.
It's an omen. Burn them.
Damien, this is all for you.
They belong to Buffalo Bob. Buffalo Bill. I almost said Buffalo Bob. Joe Dirt. I was thinking Joe Dirt, son of a bitch. And he said,
Buffalo
motherfucker.
Bob.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's his moths. He's like, hey.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So Sarah put a spell on Chris. He follows her around. He's very nice. He pretty much talks about how he told everybody that the rumor wasn't true and that he pretty much was like, yeah, I told everybody I was a piece of shit. And I was like, good. Then you find out he's under a spell and you're like, oh, so he's not actually telling him. She's pretty much making him tell everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have his friends like reacting to the whole thing. And I do love Breckenmeyer's line where he calls him Stepford Boy. Anyone ever seen Stepford Sons? Or Stepford Wives? Oh,
Yes.
You're thinking of Sanford and Son or something.
Yeah, I did. I had Stanford and Son in my brain. I had Stepford Wives in my brain, but also Stanford.
Oh, that got me.
Son's kick ass,
Oh.
dude.
But that was a great line. He's just like, "What are you, a Stepford boy now?" It's like, I get that reference.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a slumber party going on, and we get the levitating trick with Rochelle. And
Yeah.
it's literally Sarah. Like Sarah teaches them all how to do it, but she's never actually done it before, and it works like on the first try. I do love when they're at Bonnie's house, so Bonnie's mom comes in and he just drops her.
Are you girls getting high?
Yeah,
Yeah, are you
Kinda.
getting high?
kind of.
No, Mom.
Just levitating this girl. It's fine.
Yeah, and she just
We're just
slammed her
making out,
mom
it's
out of her
fine.
room. My mama
Yeah.
would be coming up in there. She would
Yeah.
not just be like, "Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
no."
You just hear like heavy footsteps and just oh, she just drop kicks it. What the
just
fuck
drop
are you
kicks
doing
her
in
over.
here? Mom, I swear, we're not levitating anyone.
Yeah.
You ain't doing spells in my house.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that witchcraft in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, but it's the whole thing of like light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, and that is said a million times.
Yep.
For the whole thing. Then we got to get the montage of them kind of evolving about everything good happening to them. So you have Bonnie's scars just falling off her back. You have Laura, her hair starts falling out after one of her dives. I do love though when her hair starts falling out, it looks gnarly. Like it's not just her hair falling out; her like scalp is all like scabbed up. And,
Yeah.
like, looks like it's melting. And,
Honestly, she deserved it.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
This
True.
girl sucks. Listen, Chris
Fuck
sucks.
her.
This girl is worse than Chris, and Chris is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're starting to put like when you're a racist,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
Now you're just
That's the low
It's
of the
almost
low.
like they took. It's almost like they took her character and Chris's character, and took them to the extremes on both sides of the gender. Almost, you know, because they took Chris to a point of rape, and then they took her to a point of racism.
oh yeah.
And being a mean
Right.
girl, like being a mean girl
Yeah.
so bad that you're going to be racist. You know.
Okay, yeah, we got to put Chris and Laura at the same level because I literally we haven't gotten to that part yet, but I completely
Sorry.
forgot about the fact that Chris
Oh, no.
does that. Like, oh
Yeah.
yep, he's yep.
Yeah, and I know
He
he's like under a
sucks.
spell, but obviously that was already in his heart for him to
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
do
where
that.
I'm wondering too. Like, is the spell starting to fade? But now it's like the spell and who Chris really is kind of combining.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he still loves her, but he's going to be this abusive, lover or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it. You know,
I think it signifies that he's done it before. Like this is
Oh, no doubt.
It-
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
the way he
Yeah.
talks
Yeah.
about women and the way he thinks
Oh,
he
yeah.
can just say whatever and people are going to believe him. Like, oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to get the whole montage because it's a '90s movie, and montages
course.
are the thing. And you got to get the hot girl,
Slow walk.
Yeah.
slow-mo walk, and I'm like,
That's pretty badass. Though.
boy, it is badass, but it's like
Woo!
this is how you're gonna get guys to watch this movie: is show them this scene, be like,
Swing.
The Craft. It's like the slow mo walk, and you're like, you want to watch that movie? Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what the hell? Oh, Laura's going bald. Bonnie's scars disappear. Then we get hot Bonnie, and I went, oh, goddamn Neff
For
Campbell.
real.
I mean,
It's
Neff
like
Campbell was
Campbell.
Neff
Yeah.
Campbell, even today.
She was like covering up
Oh, yeah,
her
even
boobs
today.
like the whole movie. And then she walks
Yeah.
in there with that white shirt. Woo! Lord have mercy.
Low cut.
Like
back
the
of her
girls are
arm
here to
showing,
play.
Yeah, her neck. Yeah, she's got her hair up. Everything.
I'm like,
Yes.
what
She
the
looked
fuck?
good when she walked back in there.
But yeah, it turns her into a bitch too. Like she's like all
Yeah,
proud of
that
herself and all
sucks.
that, which is like I get it because it's like she's never felt beautiful before, and so she's very confident and all that. But it's like, yep. And then you start to see her personality start to tank with this. But yeah, goddamn Nev Campbell. She's like the villain in the Twisted Metal show. And
Yes, she is.
oh,
Really?
I can't wait for
didn't know
season.
she was in that.
I didn't
She-
either.
she's only in a couple episodes. But
Okay.
she is worth it every time she shows up on screen. So I'm very excited
Oh,
for
always. Okay,
to see
cool.
her again in season 2. Also Scream 7 because she's back in that.
Yeah.
Although I don't
As,
feel
mu-
like she
as much
should
as
be
we
in
don't need it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
We
I'll be
feel
there.
kind of that same way, but still,
Mhm.
we're still going to go watch it.
But Nancy's mad because she feels nothing has happened to her yet. because like Rochelle's gotten her revenge, Bonnie's gotten her beauty. Sarah's already has powers, and she has the spell over Chris. So like, where's her thing? So she gets home. This is where you see the creepiness of the stepdad, and then she gives him a heart attack. And he dies.
Yeah.
And the thing that comes out of it is that he had some sort of like life insurance or some sort of money
Wherever he
stashed away.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Life
wherever he
insurance
worked, he had
policy.
life insurance through them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like $175,000, which in 1996, a lot of money.
That's hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I
hit the
know. I was
lottery.
thinking that same thing. I'm like, man, I wish that was that much money now.
No
God. Now that's like a drop in the bucket
kidding.
compared to back then.
So you got the three girls getting together. They're gonna go visit Nancy at her new apartment that she lives with she lives in with her mom. And this is where you see like Bonnie opening up. She's like flirting with a dude. She's like, "Oh, that dude had a nice ass. What do you want me to say?" Like on herself and there's
The confidence, yeah.
yeah, you're seeing these like a new version of all these characters. Like it's nowhere near what you were seeing in the first like half hour, 35 minutes of the movie. But yeah, you get to see her new apartment. It's really nice. I was like, I understand it's $175,000, but like, you guys are working, right? There's still going to be work involved in this, right?
Yeah.
This is LA. Like,
Yeah.
it might be a lot of money, but not in LA.
Yeah.
I was like, it seemed like I thought that too, because I was like I know it's it's more now, but it's like I think only maybe closer to double, like it's maybe like 250,000, 300,000. Like this is not how much money this is like reflecting of what they have.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, calm down here.
Yeah, she's
You
got
could buy a nice house and then
Yeah.
you'll be set.
I think that would probably be a better investment. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
want to buy a
that-
house? Why are you buying an apartment? You're not buying it
exactly.
unless
Condo.
that's a thing. Oh yeah, a condo. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, but good for them. You get so then they go into Nancy's room and they're like talking about the ritual that they want to plan on doing, and then Sarah shows off a new trick where she is able to like change the color of her hair. I love that they just color corrected the hair to make her hair look gray or whatever.
That was so funny.
So good.
Yeah.
But this is when you finally get to see like Nancy, like she's like excited and like happy, and you're just like, yeah, Nancy, yeah. Only you stay it that way. And then
Right.
Nancy's wish is, I want a smaller ass. I'm like, listen, I'm not saying you got nothing back there, but like, you want a smaller one? Then you're not gonna have anything back there. Like,
You're not gonna have
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
like, yeah. It was a weird one. Maybe they were supposed to give it to somebody else, and then there was like, "That's Fruza, you say it." I'm like, all right, I'll say whatever.
She's like, I'll say it.
Yeah. With that super heavy eyeliner, so that she's
Yeah.
staring into your
Yeah.
soul. Every time I was before you guys even hopped on, I was talking to Angela because we were just sitting here like just talking before everyone got on, and when there was only two of us on the screen, it was all of their faces. And Fairuza Balk's the only one looking straight at the camera. So like she looks like she's staring into your soul. The other three cast members are just looking up. Like,
That's funny.
She wants to
Staring at
take
you.
it.
Well, it doesn't help that she has dark eyeliner and bright
oh,
eyes.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she looks like she's gone crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is when Sarah starts to not enjoy the curse that she has on Chris because he visits her at like 3:30 in the morning. And he's just like, I don't know why I'm here. We should move in together. I was like, huh?
What?
He's like,
Chill
I don't
out,
think
dude.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. And then her dad comes out. He's like, can I help you?
I know.
Yeah.
I love the dad there. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What? Excuse me? Can I help you? So Sarah's like had enough with this. She goes back to the shop. She's like, well, how do I get rid of this curse? Like, how do I erase it? And she's like, you can't. You have to just let it run its course. But she also warns them that whatever you dish upon can come back at you times 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is given, or Nancy finds the summoning book. I think that's what it was. It was like a spell book of some sort, but it was a summoning book to
The invocation of the spirit or something like that, or invoking the
yeah.
spirit.
which is
She
how
saw that
she's
book
going to
at
get
the-
Manon.
They went back to
Yeah.
the witchy store after they have money, because remember she makes the comment,
Yeah.
"Look, I have money now,"
I
but
can actually
she
pay.
opens a book and she sees stuff moving, and that
Right.
triggers something like, "I need this book," and then after
Yeah.
that, I feel like that's kind of what, kicks it off.
Yeah, because the shop owner, she's like, you know, have you ever done any of this? And she's like, maybe, I don't know. And then she's I don't think this is a good idea. And she's like, I'm buying this book.
Mhm.
She's like, you have money? Oh, look at that. I have. Or she's like, how much is the book? $25. Oh, look at that. Just enough.
I have money.
Mhm. I have
Yeah.
money.
So we are then at the beach, and we get the whole thing where each of them have to bring like a sacrifice, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
So you have Rochelle has the fish because she's the swimmer. Who had the butterfly? Was it Bonnie?
I think it was Bonnie, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Bonnie.
Nancy had the snake. I'm missing somebody. Did Sarah? What did Sarah have?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Should have brought fucking Chris's ass. Like,
Right?
knocked him out. Here's
There
my
you go.
sacrifice.
Real.
Just
Yeah, they
dragging.
wouldn't have
I
known any
see
of the
Sarah
other
just
animals.
dragging him through the sand.
Yeah.
You're grunting in the back.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. They can do that and get
Yep.
his ass over
Yeah.
there.
Oh
Exactly
my
right.
god, just levitating the whole way. Don't worry,
Yeah.
guys, I can do it by myself now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to do this whole ritual. You got the whole invoke me. But this is also where Nancy is talking about Manon just for herself. Like,
Yeah.
for me. Oh, never. They're like, for you. For us. And they're like, huh, this isn't good. And then Nancy gets electrocuted. Like, she gets hit by a bolt of lightning.
Yep.
And they all pass out. And then they wake up and Nancy's just walking on the water. She's just
I
out there
know.
being Jesus.
Yeah.
It's just- and then you get this whole thing where she's clearly different. And then she goes around this rock formation, and there's just a bunch of dead sharks. I went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I know.
Just a bunch of
And
dead
it's-
animals.
Yeah, and then she's literally like, oh, they're
It's a
all for
gift.
me. They're
They're
gifts.
for me.
Oh. And I'm like,
Gifts.
oh. And that's when they're all like, oh, we fucked up. Oh, we fucked up.
Yeah. They're starting to realize the weight of what happened. And like,
Ooh.
oh, this shit might be pretty serious after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just walk it off. You'll be fine.
so they're driving. Yeah, they're driving back, and like no one cares except for Sarah. Sarah's just like, we could have done something bad. Do you not give a shit? And she's like, whatever. As she's like changing the lights from red to green.
Yeah.
On her own will.
Yep.
And then you get the whole thing where she's like, well, maybe the next one won't turn green. So Nancy purposely doesn't turn it green and just drives through the intersection, almost killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, like Bonnie is just like, this is where I start to feel that Nancy is controlling the other two. Like, she is influencing them to the point where they are so like distant from reality. Because like Bonnie saw what happened. Rochelle saw what happened. They both looked very concerned after Nancy's like crying over this dead shark on the beach, like saying that they're like the gifts. But then they're in the car and Bonnie's like, I'm having a great time. Like, the fuck? What is happening? There's definitely something else going on here than just the fact that she is, changed for the better, at least for herself. I feel like Nancy has some influence, but she can't.
Yeah.
But I feel that the reason that Sarah hasn't been influenced is because she's stronger than Nancy, or she has she's the only one who has true power.
Mm-hmm.
So Laura's hair keeps falling out. You get the sad scene of her in the shower crying. Her hair is falling out. Yeah. It's one of those people you're just like, I don't fucking feel bad at all.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry about you.
Yeah. Maybe don't be a
You
racist
deserve
piece of shit.
every bit of it.
Exactly.
Deserved it all.
It's pretty easy not to be that person.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is when. So Sarah is listen. I think Sarah is a very smart character, except when it has to do with Chris. She's dumb. It pisses me off, and I understand. It's like sometimes it's just how it is with people. Like people they're so attracted to the bad boys. boys or the bad. It's even the same with guys. Like it's not just women who fall for the bad boys. The women or the guys are always there's a lot of times they fall for the ones that just treat them like absolute dog shit.
Oh yeah.
Keep going back to those people, treat
Yep.
them like absolute dog shit. You're like,
Yep.
hey man, treating you like
What are
shit,
you
and just
doing?
move
Yeah.
on.
Stop.
Hey, look, there's a person who likes you, and she's nice. She has dogs. She's a person. Nah, we'll go back to this one who beats the shit out of me all the time. Sounds like
Right.
a good plan there, pal.
Well, I think too, maybe the writers played their age into a lot of it. Like these are high school kids. I know it's easy for us to look at them and say, but those are adults playing teenagers. But I think if, we're supposed to look at them like teenagers, I made a lot of stupid decisions when I was a teenager. So, and Lord,
me
if I
too.
had been trying to do witchcraft, there ain't no telling what kind of shit I would have got myself into. So then you add that into the equation. Yeah, it's just, I think it's immaturity and getting a lot of power.
Yeah.
And then not knowing what to do with it. Kind of like, I mean, the Menendez brothers are in the news right now because of the series on Netflix. And they kind of did the same thing where they killed their parents and they got caught because they went and spent a shit ton of money. Spent all their money. It's like, why are you doing this? Well, they're kids. They see a dollar sign and endless amounts of money and they want to go spend it. Same kind of thing.
Ryan Murphy. Can we stop with all these goddamn shows? I've watched enough documentaries on the Menendez brothers. I know what they did. I don't need a dramatization fucking retelling of the Menendez brothers, of them like literally there's like an ad that keeps popping up for that show where it's the two guys playing the brothers shirtless, like
Hugging.
close together. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this, Ryan Murphy? And then he's got an Aaron Hernandez one out. It's like American Sports Story. I'm like, what are we? Stop!
Like
a
stop
super
this!
Heard about that one.
But
I watched that in real time.
Dahmer was.
I was
good.
watching football when all that shit was happening. I was a Gators fan. I've been watching Aaron Hernandez since he was in college, not knowing any of the dark shit that was going on behind the scenes.
Man.
And then it all just fucking crump. Like, we don't need it, Ryan Murphy.
Oh man, you're a Gators fan.
I am.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't come to Tennessee and say that.
I know, right?
I'm not a Gators fan like I am a Steelers fan. Like I'll proudly wear Steelers stuff anywhere, but when it comes to Gators, like I'm a Gators fan. I've been a Gators fan since I was like 3 years old, so it's kind of like I can't just stop now.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it.
Yeah, totally fair.
Poking.
And that's all right. Why not? I mean, fans do it all the time with teams.
I
Like,
was
fuck
a
it,
little
we're not doing
kid.
good. Fuck
Listen,
them.
I was a little kid.
It
My
makes
grandmother.
an interesting point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a bandwagon fan. Okay. My teams were chosen
He's
when
tried
I
and
was
true.
very little. Yeah. I was a Steelers fan
Same.
since I was like 5. And I'm 30. I'm going to be 33 in a couple days. So I've been a Steelers fan for a very long time. And Gators, literally, my grandma lived in Florida. I was obsessed with alligators. And I found out there was a college team down there that were alligators. And so she got me a bunch of gator stuff. And I was like, well, I guess I like this now.
Yep.
And then I started watching. And then a couple years later, I actually started watching the games. And I was like, okay, I'm a Gators fan. So
hell yeah.
There it is. There's my quick rundown of
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your football
my
upbringing.
football rundown. Yeah.
It happened with me too.
Oh, where the hell am I in my notes? Oh,
the football section.
Yeah, the football section.
Chris is about to be a real piece of shit.
Oh yeah, this is when they set up. Sarah sets up the day with Chris. They park on the side of the road. I think this is the same road that in Seed of Chucky. Chucky kills Britney Spears. If you've ever seen Seed of Chucky.
I haven't seen that one.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god,
love Seed of
it's
Chucky.
possibly one of the worst ones in the franchise, but it's so much. It's one of the
funny.
It's super meta.
Yeah.
So it's like Jennifer Tilly is playing Jennifer Tilly in it.
Yes.
It's so.
Okay. I got
This is where Glenn and Glenda show up for the first time in the franchise. If you've watched the Chucky series,
and Chucky's like trying to teach his son or whatever how to be
Glenn
a
and then
man,
Glenda, yeah.
and trying to teach him how to be a killer because he's not. Yeah, he's totally the opposite of Chucky. It is so funny.
I'm gonna start a podcast at some point where it's just gonna be all about the Child's Play franchise. Okay.
Oh man, have
Do
me
it.
on. I love the
TBA.
Chucky movies.
It'll be announced at some point.
Yeah.
Don't know when. Someday.
We're out.
It'll be hosted by me and Hannah.
Well, I'm trying to get
Future podcast.
There you go.
So Chris doesn't like to take no for an answer and tries to rape Sarah. And I went, oh, good, because this guy didn't suck already.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
make it even worse. Yeah. But it's also,
Digging that
I
hole.
think Anna was saying that it's kind of the fact is like, is the spell wearing off? Is it like,
Yeah.
is he stuck in the middle? Is he not fully like taken over by the spell? It's like he's trying to break free, so the spell is still there, where
Right.
he's still super obsessed with her. So that's why like he can't take no for an answer, because the spell is forcing him to continuously go after her
Yeah.
to the point that this happens. So, or this is it's like you'll never know whether this is truly Chris, like fully in control of his own body doing these things, or if it is part of the spell and the effect that it's having on him. It doesn't matter.
The Uno reverse card.
He's throwing a reverse card.
Yeah, it's the Uno.
Yeah.
Uno reverse.
Uno
Yeah,
reverse.
Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they said that they were going to get it bad. I mean, there's always got to be comeuppance. So
Yeah.
And how far
it's a
was
shitty way to have it.
was
but-
Rochelle's house just right there? I felt like she ran
Had
for
to
like
have been.
3 seconds. She was like, ah,
Yeah,
and then like
she-
Rochelle's house is there.
They
Just
dirt
one
Ran
her
guy.
over
up.
the sand dune, and there she is.
Yeah.
And this is also where I feel Nancy is influencing the other two, because like Sarah shows up to Rochelle's house. They take her in. They're like very concerned about like what happened. And this is when like Nancy gets pissed and she's like, I'm going to the party. There's a party going on. Chris is going to be there. I'm going. And, Sarah's trying to talk her out of it. She goes there and Chris wants nothing to do with Nancy, because I guess so. From the beginning when they're talking about Chris that Nancy did have a thing with him, but it was more, I think, just for sex. I don't think they didn't have a relationship.
Yeah.
It was, he just kind of took advantage of her. And to be honest, there is kind of a slight inclination that maybe he raped her and nothing came out of it. Like she didn't tell anyone or anything. And
That might have been like the thing that ended it. Because I feel like Nancy's very much a person who's never been noticed ever in her life, whether it be by her family or her mom or stepdad, or definitely not at school, because everybody calls them the bitches of Eastwick and makes fun of them.
Yep.
So I think Chris just used her to get what he wanted and led her on. And for her, it felt like, oh, this really hot guy is noticing me. This is awesome. And then it just went to shit after so long. And I think, it could have been maybe he tried that with her too. Yeah.
But he he doesn't want anything to do with her, even though he's drunk, and he still doesn't want anything to do with her. And then she does, instead of the hair, she does the whole face with the hair. So she turns into Sarah, which then kind of turns him on. Of course, he's like, oh shit, you were actually Sarah the whole time? Let's go.
How
Let's
drunk
do
am
this.
I?
Yeah.
And this is when in my notes I literally put Chris fucks around with Nancy and finds out.
Exactly.
This is where Fairuza Balk fucking kills it with just psychotic episode of just her screaming at Chris to the point where it knocks him out the window. Because Sarah shows up and you get the whole thing where Nancy turns back into Nancy. And Chris is like,
You're a
oh, yeah, you're a witch. Oh, what the fuck? He's like,
How do you know she's a witch?
Yeah.
Because she looks like one. I'm sorry. We did that during the movie.
all right,
I'm
everyone
sorry.
who's listening or watching, make sure to put in the comments how many times has Dan and Angela made the Monty Python and the Holy Grail joke in an episode. I can't even give you that answer because it's been way too many.
That's good. Somebody
You
will
have
know.
to. Or occasionally just yell, burn the witch!
Yes. It's good. I can't help it.
Even if it's contextually accurate or not, I don't care.
There's a band
Doesn't
that
matter.
I've seen now 14 times called Nothing More, and they have a song called Burn the Witch.
Is it
So-
dope as fuck?
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite songs from them.
He's seen him 14 times.
Well, they keep going. Keep going. Finish your story.
Yeah, and the end of the song is a recording of Ding Dong the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz. Like,
Oh,
the
that's
recording of the
cool.
movie. Yeah, it's from like one of their first albums. I love it.
Mine is my musical reference is going to be Thrice, Under a Killing Moon. has references to Burning the Witch. It's my favorite band. So
There we go.
Burn the Witch.
And there it is. I need a button where it's just Ian Malcolm going, there it is.
Please. Oh, fuck. Please.
You can't be as
That would
cool
be
as
so
Charlie
cool.
from Giving Me Back My Action horror movies where he has cool like sound buds.
Soundboard.
Yeah, I'm going to get a soundboard at some point.
You have to fart.
Oh,
I actually do. I
Charlie.
just don't know how to use it.
You use your fingers.
Yeah, in my mouth. Bloop, bloop.
You could, if you feel so qualified, you could try just flipping it on. Flipping the switch to on. Sorry.
That's all I had to do the whole time.
We were making Jurassic Park references. I might as well keep going.
It's like it's like when the older people at work are like, I'm having issues with my computer. What should I do? And I said, turn it off and turn it back on. And they go, what? And I went, no, I'm being serious. Like, do that. Like, if it doesn't work, then there's clearly a deeper issue. But usually that'll fix it.
Yep.
What do you think I do when my phone starts acting up? I turn it off and I turn it back on.
Yep.
This will fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this has been like maybe 10 years ago. We were having issues with the printer in photo when I worked at Walgreens. And they called me and they're like, do you know how to fix this?
Just kicks it.
And I assumed that they had already turned it off and back on. And I go over there later and they're like, oh, well, all we had to do was turn it off and back on. And I'm like, I just assumed that you guys had already done that because that's the first thing you're supposed to do.
Right.
I used to work in photo at Walgreens. It's been years ago. But yeah, I used to work in photo too. So God, I even remember doing the film rolls, like disposable cameras. Do y'all still do that? Yes.
Nope. We got rid of that not long after I started there.
Okay.
And it was the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I said, trying to change the paper in the boxes.
Yes.
I said I felt like I was trying to help a lady give birth or something.
Oh yeah, I worked in photo at Walmart, and I dealt with the film for a while. But by the time I was out of there, it was
black
all
tent
digital.
that we had to set up.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Light. Yep.
Like, don't come in here. I'm in my hidey hole.
We had
no, you had to do it all blindly. You had to feel.
We had a machine that you just literally opened up and everything was dark inside, and you just had to feed it in there, so it didn't actually get exposed to light. Interesting stuff, and interesting pictures you would find.
Yeah, bet you did. Very much so.
Yeah, there was a specific guy we had to finally turn away when we stopped doing film on site because he had ladies.
Oh my!
I'm not going to tell. Maybe I'll tell you guys after we're done recording the most fucked up thing I've ever. No, I can't.
Oh, I have.
Is it any worse than the Phantom Dick story?
Yes, it
okay.
disturbs
I'm
me.
intrigued.
It disturbs me to the point where I don't want to tell it like in an episode.
Oh, you have to now. After the show, you have to fucking tell us.
You guys
got
after,
to know.
not when we're recording.
Well, hurry this shit up.
We're almost
I'm having a good time. Don't rush this. So Chris gets pushed out the window. He's dead. Sarah then puts a binding spell on Nancy.
Yeah.
And then Sarah has the nightmare that all three of the girls come flying in, kind of like a classic witch imagery, and just doing the, witch cackling and
They did that in Hocus Pocus, didn't they?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I do love when I was watching the behind the scenes of this movie, and they had to do all this with like green screen and all that stuff, and they're just like, yeah. We thought this was going to be great. We thought we knew back in the day, with like anything that had to do with flying, you were just strapped to like strapped to the harness and a wire and all that. And I figured it was so much time has passed. I figured it was so state of the art. And then I found out it was all the same way. It was just harnesses and wires. It wasn't very fun. I was like, fuck that. I want to do all that shit. I'd love to fly around. So yeah, so this is when the whole group just turns on Sarah because,
I know.
So I think what it is that Nancy knows that, or she knows because she's so powerful now that Sarah tried to put a binding spell on her, because she even mentions it. She's like, "Can you not just put a binding spell on me, or just putting a spell on me, period, or whatever it was." But I think also this is where the manipulation and like Nancy's power over the other two starts to like get really dark because the other two just fucking turn 180 degrees on Sarah, like just
instantly.
fuck you, you're out, like haha, you suck. And then they start fucking with her mind because they, you know, she goes upstairs and like Nancy's able to like do certain things just with her like flick of her wrist, like she cuts Sarah's wrists again.
Yeah.
You get the snakes and oh no, wait, that's a little bit later. Never mind. Let's not talk about that one yet.
Other things happen first, but that's fair.
Yeah, she's up in the bathroom and weird things are going on and then kind of disappears. She runs to the shop owner where she is going to evoke Manon with her, and then a huge explosion happens at the front of the store, which then turns to nothing. Like you think like the whole front of the store just explodes, but then it's just kind of I'm guessing it's just
a hallucination. It's like Nancy's
okay.
influencing what's around them to freak them out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so she leaves before she can even get it done. And then this is also where you find out that her mom was a witch. Like the shop owner is like, like did the shop owner know her?
I thought the shop owner was going to be her mom somehow. Like I'm like, okay, sure.
Plot twist.
Like when until you found out when she was going to die, like she died or whatever. But like,
I'm assuming they know because the shop that she owns is an occult shop. So I'm assuming that maybe her mom was like friends with her or something like that. I don't know.
I thought it was just because she was a witch and she could tell, like by touching her.
She looks like one.
Yeah.
Hell,
agreeing with you.
You're gonna own a car garage if you don't know how to work on a vehicle. Just saying.
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I just kind of figured it was she had intuition or she had a vision or something and saw that
intuition.
That's her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was the ring because I talk about her ring early in the movie when the first time they go to the. Yeah, that too. That cassette's in the back behind the beads.
This one doesn't have a title. Interesting.
What's popping?
Very interesting.
It's just a woman brushing her hair. Oh shit. You also find out what's behind the curtain too. I probably should have mentioned that because we had the whole thing before where she was like, don't look behind the curtain. Then she shows it's a temple. This is where they try to evoke Manon and everything happens and she leaves.
Or she's scared to do it too because she's afraid of what would happen if she invoked the powers.
She also doesn't have enough confidence in herself quite yet, like Nancy does.
So she gets home and she finds out that Nancy sent her parents back to San Francisco. And then she turns on the TV and it's about a plane crash. And so Sarah thinks that her dad and her stepmom died in a plane crash that was caused by Nancy. I was like, damn, Nancy got really powerful.
That's
holy shit.
Yeah.
Like for the rest of the movie, you're just like, how is Nancy just not completely annihilating everyone here? Like, but then you realize it's not real.
I'm just like, what did Sarah do to y'all to like get y'all to do this to her?
No shit.
Like they just turned that shit to 11. They're just like, you know what? Like, okay, Sarah is just she just doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. It's like fucking betrayal.
Kill people. Can you just give her a break?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Which ultimately we figure out that it was all like a joke. I mean, a joke, but I don't see how that's even a prank making you think your parents are dead.
I think it was more than a prank to Nancy. Maybe the other two, but Nancy was a little more dedicated to that.
Yeah, because she says it's a prank, right? Like she was like, "Oh, I just was pranking you." I was like, "What? That's not a prank."
Yeah, at the end, because she's like, when Rochelle and Bunny, they're like, that stuff on the TV was just a prank, right? Talking about the plane crash. And I'm like, okay, the dad just talked to y'all. So I think she knows that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Her dad's not
dad's they're like, hey girls. And it's like, hey, you know that thing about your dad in a plane crash? It wasn't real.
Yeah.
No shit.
I hugged him
Right.
this morning.
You just
we had a
talked
bowl
to
of
him.
cereal
Okay.
together.
Unless Sarah resurrects the dead now. Like at that point.
Oh, that should have been the Craft sequel.
Yeah.
Instead,
Yep.
Right.
Yes. Holy
but
shit.
instead, we got the same movie again.
Yeah, we just watched Reanimator. And
Mm-hmm.
his shirt. I'm like, bam.
I
That's the one
love
to watch.
Reanimator.
Hell
So
yeah.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
So sad we've already done that or that movie.
We got
Do
got
it again.
subpar sequels, dude. Let's do
Hey,
it.
we got Bride. All right.
Bride's
Oh,
good.
yeah, Bride's
I-
good.
I will fight you on that.
I will too.
Was it Beyond? Is the
Like
third one?
the end.
We're
Beyond?
ready to fight.
I was like, oh yeah, Bride. He's like, oh, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
Don't say anything
Don't
bad
say
about
anything
Bride.
bad about it.
Well,
I'm
let's
sorry, I
just
didn't
push
say
Bride
nothing.
back.
Huh?
Let's push it back.
Yeah.
It's fine. What are we going to do right now?
I mean, it's been like 2 years since we did Reanimator, so.
Yeah, we should fix that.
So yeah, this is where you get like some cool imagery where you got the shadow of the door and it turns into snakes, and
That
then
was
all the
cool.
snakes show up. They used like 2,700 snakes.
Damn.
in this.
That sounds like a
Oh my
swell time, dude.
gosh.
And
That'd be
also they
so
had a
fucking
bunch of
cool.
rats and cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Spoods.
Yeah.
The tarantulas.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
The shot of the rat falling into her hair wasn't actually Robin Tunney. She said, "Nope, I'm not doing that. You can have the stunt double do
Coward.
that."
Hell yeah. I don't blame her.
She can do everything
Yeah.
but the rat.
She even said
Don't blame her.
in an interview, she was like, they were like professionally used rats for movies, like so they're cleaned and all that. She's like, it still smelled awful.
Well, yeah,
I
they still
bet.
they still void their waste and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if it was me on set, I'd be just pocketing those spiders. Like, come on, motherfucker, you're coming home. And shit. Blah, 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 blah. Spiders just coming in my pockets. Like, what
Then you
is it?
scare
Like,
the
nothing.
shit.
Don't
Then
worry
you
about
scare
it.
the shit out of Angela. You just kind of like you're like, oh, I don't feel so well, and you like fall on the ground. Just spiders just shoot out.
Spiders, yes! Oh shit, that'd been awesome.
Just light you on fire right then.
But see, the thing is, in California, though, you can just catch them fuckers all day long. Those are native species. So
you
just like,
already have an angry one upstairs. You do not need any more.
well, you off. Bullshit.
No, he's angry enough.
It loves you. They don't know how to hug. That's how they hug.
He's angry enough.
Carry on.
So yeah, she's terrified. She gets like she's in the shower. She's like screaming for her to stop, and then you get the jump scare from Nancy where she just pops out of the shower curtain. And I think this is where she does the thing where she like slits Nancy's wrists with like her power. And,
That was downstairs when she ran upstairs.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like-
'cause she
she's
was
like,
grabbing a
you're
towel.
bleeding.
oh
Yeah,
right.
But that's after. I think that's after. Was that after that? She do the slit wrist thing first, and then she goes upstairs, or is it she comes
Yeah.
back downstairs, then she goes back up because she tells her to off that she should finish the job while she's in the shower.
Right. Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
after the whole
I can't
shower incident, this is when you go back downstairs and Nancy's down there with the other two, and the other two are just like, okay, I didn't really sign up for this. This is going a little too far. And Nancy's like, go up there and find her type thing. So showing she has some sort of power over them.
Yeah.
So they go upstairs to look for her, and they walk by the mirror, and that's when they see the ×3. Like it's coming back to them where it's like she is like she looks like Two-Face, or she's like evolving into
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger,
Mhm.
where Bonnie's covered in the burn scars, and then Rochelle's losing her hair like Laura.
Oh.
And so that's when they're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going. Bye.
Yeah.
And they just run out of there, and Nancy's just like, come back. Come
They're like, we could have
back."
walked out the door the whole time. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
always an option.
Yeah.
Like just walk in.
Like, she's not puppeteering you. It's fine. But yeah, this is when Nancy has fully lost it. She is just out of control. She pretty much is determined that she's like, you're going to kill yourself tonight. That is my goal. And so this is when like Sarah is laying on the ground and she is reciting that binding spell again. She just keeps reciting it over and over again. And this is when she Nancy goes upstairs to look for her, and she can't find her, and then she's like in the mirror. I love that whole thing where she like comes out of the mirror.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she I forgot to mention her mom talks to her through the picture. Like she's like, it's okay, honey, you can do this. And they do like a secret handshake, and then it's like, you got this, baby, and then like, go in the mirror, go hide in the mirror.
Remember those secret handshakes I used to give you in the womb? Gotta do that right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she died in birth. Like, how would she know? Like, it's whatever. It's fine. It's whatever.
But yeah, this is she invokes Manon and then is able to do the thing in the mirror, and then she like puts bugs all into Nancy. Like the bugs are just coming out of her clothes. Pretty much for this scene, they had to cover Faruka Balk in a green screen, and then just kind of put she didn't ever have actual bugs on her. It was all green screen effects. Oh, especially the cockroaches coming out of the sleeves. Like, God,
Yeah,
that looked real,
man.
That did look real.
I bet that was real, but I bet that was real because it didn't show her whole body; it just showed her arm, so it could have been a stunt double just there.
That's true.
Yeah,
cockroaches coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is when you think it's going to be over. She is going to put this binding spell on her, and that's going to be it. But instead, Nancy's like, "I'm so sorry. It was just a prank, and we just didn't mean to do this." And then she goes after her with the knife. Now, from what I've read, is that there's a possibility that the binding spell is partially working because Nancy is on top of Sarah with the knife, and she is going at her, and nothing is happening to Sarah. So it's the whole thing where like the binding spell is that she can't hurt anybody and she can't hurt herself. So there's a possibility that the binding spell worked before Nancy attacked her because she doesn't get harmed by the knife during that fight scene.
Yeah.
Which this got nominated for an award at the MTV Movie Awards.
Did it?
Did it really?
Fight. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Well, somebody does almost get KO'd by a dresser.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was like a David Copperfield effect where it's like, oh, it's just her clothes. Oh shit. She does a spell where she can just disappear and then reappear like, hey.
It's like, where'd she go? It's just her clothes. She is the clothes. Oh shit.
It's Hollow Man. Kevin Bacon is naked running around invisible somewhere.
Yes.
Just singing. The only way you know where he is, he's just singing Footloose.
Yeah.
Is that
There
Kevin
he
Bacon
is.
singing Footloose?
Are you playing Footloose? You have an iPod? Those don't exist yet.
The thing that would piss him off the most is like Kenny Loggins did it better, and that's when he comes at you.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Oh man. And then Nancy gets kicked into a mirror. And the binding
she does.
And then the binding spell, I guess, works. Because the next day we see Bonnie and Rochelle coming by to apologize about everything. And if I was there, get the fuck out of here before I kill both of you, because I have the power to do that. Fucking
the nerve of these girls.
Especially Bonnie. She's like, I just wanted to. I'm like, God damn it, Nev Campbell. She's like, I just want to say I'm so sorry. And I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You suck, man. But yeah, this whole thing where they ask her if she's got the power and she leaves, or they're like, oh yeah, she doesn't have any power, and she's just like, tree branch. But doesn't hit him. There's more to scare him and to kind of prove that she's
just to make a point.
Yeah.
How much signal you got?
Let them know who's boss.
And then we see that Nancy is at an asylum or a mental institution, and she's just screaming, I'm flying.
God, she is.
I'm flying. And then that's it.
I would have got away with it, if it wasn't for that girl and this little dog. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, that's it. That is 1996's TheCraft. Now it's time to go around the room and talk about our final thoughts on the movie. We'll start with Hannah. After watching this recently, what are your final thoughts on TheCraft?
I really liked it. I do have a couple problems with it. Just like I was saying, that the girls just really had no reason to go after Sarah so hard. That just I really didn't understand that. I don't know. Maybe if something else maybe if something else would have happened, like maybe Sarah would have done, I don't know, like done something really bad to them, but she just wanted out. Like, and maybe now looking on it, how I kind of think that, like I was saying earlier, Sarah was the one that had all the powers and they were just feeding from Sarah. So maybe that's why Nancy wanted to attack her so bad. Maybe she thought that if she got Sarah out of the picture, that she would take on the full power or something. Maybe. But yeah, I was just not the first half of the movie I loved. And then when it started getting to the second half and we get like I said, the part where they're just attacking Sarah so bad. And then I didn't like that Sarah wanted Chris, she was wanting Chris to like her, like after how he was such a prick. I just didn't like if that, I don't know. I feel like if that was me or another teenage girl, we would want to do something horrific to him, not like want him to like us.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a bad dude. And come to find out, like even with the spell, in his heart, he had obviously bad intentions already. And so he was gonna take those out on Sarah, whether or not, even though she wanted him to like her, it turns into him liking her so much that he wants to take advantage of her. Right. And yeah, so and that could also feed into the 3x3, like everything that's happening to them, we're getting the bad side of it as well. Because at first it looks like it's something so great, and then it ends up turning out to be bad. But I do like that aspect of the movie that, we see these girls get this power, and then we see that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. And I do like that. I do like that part of the movie that, they get to the, they're at the very, very top, but then they get knocked down, and yeah. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not something that I'll probably like rewatch a lot. It's not, like I said, I didn't grow up with it. It doesn't have that nostalgic factor for me. I'm not as into witchcraft, witchy stuff as I am like blood, gore, slashing, gashing, So, for me, it's not something that I'll probably rewatch a lot, but it is a good movie. And for what it is, and I think it's a great like girl power movie. I think for teenage girls, I think Anna said it kind of is a coming of age, not as much as like Ginger Snaps, like she said, or something like that, but I think it is one of those movies for teenage girls that's kind of like, it makes you feel some type of way, makes you feel more confident and like, oh yeah, I can do this. I don't know about being a witch, but like, like maybe I can tackle some things in life.
Potato.
Yes. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Like I said, I like it, but not something not something that I'm like, whoo, super crazy about and that I grew up with. So,
all right, Anna.
Like I said, it's been a long time, a really long time since I've watched this. Probably 15 years, if not more. Young Anna was made fun of a lot. I grew up in the 90s, so I very much related to them and how they felt. So I think that's why I connected so much with it when I was younger. But now looking at it as I'm 35 and I'm a grown adult and I know who I am now and that kind of thing. And if you want to make fun of me, fuck off. I don't care. It doesn't hit quite as hard. There's a lot in it that's just kind of cringe, and especially with the rape and the racist stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, it's the 90s, so you can't really fault it too much. But all in all, I do think it's a good movie. And I think that if you're a fan of the horror genre in any capacity, or if you're a Neve Campbell fan, or a Skeet Ulrich fan, or Fairuza Balk, I think it's definitely one you need to check out.
Angela.
Me. I still love this movie. Yes, there are some things that I could point out that are cringy. But like Anna said, I was made fun of growing up. I definitely didn't fit in. I was the baby of 4. I always called myself an alien growing up because I didn't act like anybody in my family. The only reason I knew I was part of the family is because I looked exactly like my mom. She couldn't deny me.
That's how they dupe you. The aliens just are really convincing with the disguise.
We got to make them look like one of the parents.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I still love it.
It was all right. Like this movie.
I was waiting for you to say this movie. Don't even.
What?
Don't.
I think this was definitely a one and done for me. Like I watched it. This I thought was all right. I'm not really big into the Hello?
I'm just gonna put a tally on how many movies I get to watch by myself again.
That's true. That's fair. I'm not really big on the witchcraft side of it, which is fine. It's just not everything has to appeal to me as a film. I thought the ladies did a good job. Like most actors were pretty fair for what they were. It was very contained story. Like there was like a lot of extra characters. Like I don't even count, the other jocks that were hanging out with. What's his name? I can't think of his name right all of a sudden. I'm bad with names.
Breckenmeyer.
Chris and
Yes. Yeah, Chris. The other guys. I don't like. None of them really mattered. Like it was little like the main girls, Chris, and that's it. Like that's all that matters in this movie, and that was fine. And I thought the movie kind of like the ending was like what you talked about. It's kind of abrupt. It's like they got so far into it, like guys, we need to wrap this shit up. And then when it got to the end, like they were in the house and they were freaking her out, and she had time to come upstairs, but then came back downstairs or some shit like that. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Or no, she got a slit wrist to go upstairs, and like it felt like they tried to end the movie like multiple times, but it just kept going to me. And I was like, this movie should have been like a clean hour and a half.
Like, wait, we need to add this.
It just the rest of it was fine. I felt the rest of it was decent. It was just the ending just kept like dragging a little bit for me. But other than that, I thought it was fine. It was definitely a 90s film as it was shot, because it makes sense when it was made. But it was fine. It felt like a lot of these, like we referenced the Faculty. It felt like that, but just a different version of that. And I think this predated the Faculty, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Faculty was 90.
Yeah, so it was the other way around.
Before,
So
Faculty came out in
they're like,
98.
yeah, so like they did it with witches. Fuck it, let's do it with aliens, and we'll have the fucking T-1000 in it too.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, it's
And that appeals to me more. But
no,
Same. And Josh Hartnett. Hello.
yes, woo!
right. And another thing, I will say this. I mean, outside of I guess some of the subject matter, this movie I don't think should have been rated R.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I think it should have just been like a hard PG-13. Like there wasn't particularly violent. I mean, there was some.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I watched a video on it, and evidently they were trying to get it rated PG-13. So that's why, and they still just wouldn't do it because it involved witchcraft, and there are a couple kills in it, and the witchcraft is involved in the killing. So they wouldn't, they kept it rated R. But that's why it does feel, because when I saw it was rated R, I was like, man, this feels PG-13.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Conjuring films. You're like, why the fuck is this rated R?
Yeah.
You're no, but nothing against the movie. I mean, I know that's like behind the scenes MPAA BS, so I'm not going to dock it for that. But yeah, it's good. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks about that is like you're not going to get as much of an audience when your movie is rated R compared to PG-13.
Yeah.
So I feel like this movie probably could have made double what it made at the box office if it had a lower rating.
Definitely.
Yeah, working at a
They
movie theater.
They just didn't want to fight it and have to cut a bunch of stuff, or the whole movie is based around witchcraft, which is the basis of why it was rated R. So
yeah.
I worked at a movie theater during the boom of like that boom in like the early 2010s, where it was like a bunch of like PG-13 horror films, like The Gallows and shit like that came out. Yeah, and like, dude, I shit you not, the number of like teenage kids that came to those fucking movies.
Yeah, dude.
It was just exponential. I mean, they would still get to the R's because that was like, yeah, we'll have our parents or whatever. You know, we quelled that shit pretty quick. But anyway, they were all over those fucking movies. It doesn't matter what one it was. If it was PG-13, it was an art, and it was a horror film, they were fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Dan. Like, I don't know if when the next time I'll ever watch this movie. I liked it. Every single one of these ladies, I could watch do anything. They're not. I mean, they're good actors. They're gorgeous. What more do you want? It's just the subject matter. Like, I've never been huge into like witchcraft stuff, but it was fun. I liked it. The effects were good. I liked the story, but I also agree the fact that they kind of rushed this movie. Like, it was like, I feel like it was paced so well. Things were happening, and it's like bam, bam, bam. At the end, you're like, holy shit, what happened? Like the whole thing that Hannah was saying earlier, like, why did they turn on Sarah so fast? What was the point of this? Like, they build up this whole thing with getting Sarah to be your fourth, and then fuck you, Sarah. I'm gonna fucking destroy you. Like, everything about you. You're like,
time for you to die.
That was quick. That all happened in the course of like 8 hours. Like, what are we doing here? That's a normal work shift for me. Okay, all that drama just happened. What the fuck? All right, yeah, it's fine. I see why it is a cult favorite and a cult classic, as I should say. It's just not one I think I'm going to be going back to very often. Like, I think maybe when my daughter's older, maybe I'll show it to her, because I think it is a good. It's weird to say when it's a movie about women's power, like women gaining power, but it's written by a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Being like, watch this movie. It's about women empowerment, but it's written by a bunch of guys. There's literally no women involved in this, other than the actresses. Because even the actress who played Rochelle, who again was kind of fucked with this movie because she, I guess, according to her, she wasn't involved a lot in the promotional stuff with this movie. Like, they kind of like excluded her in a lot of it.
Ghostbuster syndrome.
And it's kind of fucked. Yeah, there you go. It's fucked up.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Rachel True. She pretty much came out and was like, yeah, I was kind of cut from certain promotional stuff. Like, they didn't have me going on certain press stuff, press junkets and all that. She's on the poster, which I guess is a plus over the fact that they didn't include Winston on the poster for Ghostbusters.
Right.
Bullshit.
Oh my god.
Or who didn't they include on the faculty poster, and then they put Usher on there instead, and we're like, why was he even on there? I think it was
they didn't put the girl, I think that turns out to be. Have y'all seen the faculty?
The one that we have an episode on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about. Sorry, but
the
yeah,
Slug girl.
I think that instead of having her on it, they had Usher, and we're just like,
it's like Usher's in it for 3 seconds.
Yeah, barely in it.
And he's a terrible actor.
And she's in it the whole movie, like she's a major part of it.
Yeah. But yeah, they didn't want to put her on there because it would spoil things. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't have known.
Would it?
I don't think it spoils shit.
She's just on the poster.
You don't know who it is. Yeah.
No, I think it's one of the guys. I think it's Sean Haddisey's character,
or
the redhead.
Okay.
What was a football player? The one was a football player. I think it's him.
One of the prominent characters. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I could have sworn on the shirt that I have, she's not on it. And
you
I
said
was like,
put Danny Masterson on it.
Right? Buying the scat? Ugh. Didn't age well.
Nope. Not at all.
No, she's on the poster. She's in the very back. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Parker.
That's okay.
It was going to bug me.
Oh, I know 4K's coming out of the faculty and I need it immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a keeper.
Oh, man. But, back to Rachel True. She stated, she's like, yeah, if you notice, the more powerful the girls get, the shorter their skirts get.
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, written by men.
Yep.
It's like, this is supposed to show empowerment, but it's like, oh no, they're just getting sexier. It's like, well, I mean, they were sexy already. They just were hiding it. But now it's like, now they're more free. And it's like, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get what you were coming from back then. But hey, whatever. This movie came out in 1996, everybody. Let's put that into perspective.
Yeah.
Almost 30
Does this
years.
remind you of I'm like sitting here thinking about this movie, like in retrospect now that you're talking about this, and I'm really getting Chronicle vibes.
I haven't seen
the
it.
one with Michael B. Jordan and
Yes,
Dane
like the
DeHaan
concept
or
was
whatever.
used for Chronicles. I was like,
Yeah, I actually
okay.
like that movie a lot. And then
Is that
guy
where
was
he's a
directing.
superhero?
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
They
that.
all gain powers. Yeah.
Yeah,
outer
I've heard
space.
of it.
Yeah, and then that guy was like the director was like supposed to be a big thing, and then they gave him Fantastic Four, and it was awful. But to be honest, it wasn't even his fault that it was.
And they took him out back of Hollywood and just shot him. in the
They
head,
literally
like,
did because we haven't heard from him since. Like, has anybody seen? I can't even remember his name. Like, that's how much they erased him from our memories.
Hey, that guy, that motherfucker that made Chronicles. Yeah.
If I own that movie, I would look at the back of
Buried
the
out
box,
back.
but I don't own it. All right, now it's time to go over to social media and see what you all had to say about TheCraft. And we're going to start over on Twitter. Yes, I'm just going to it's Twitter.
Just do it. It's Twitter. Just Twitter. Don't
We
worry
got a
about
comment.
it.
We got a comment from our good friend Darren Lundberg from Nostalgia Cast and Back to Bluey, who Dan and Angela got to hang out with. Well, when you hear this, it's not recently, but it was in the last month where they got to talk about Godzilla versus Megalon.
Yeah, 1973.
Fun.
Did you listen to that episode?
I sure did.
Called your fucking ass out.
I
on
know
it.
you did. Make sure to
No,
check out.
that was a good
Make
time.
sure to go over to Nostalgia Cast. Check out that episode. He also hosts a show called Back to Bluey, and he's at
good
GW
stuff.
Lundberg on Twitter if you want to argue with him about movies because he loves arguing with people on Twitter.
He'll out-talk your
he's gonna
ass.
he
You will
he
not
listens
win.
to all of our episodes, so he'll have a comment about that. He just said my Nev Campbell crush deepens, and I think all of our Nev Campbell crush deepens when we watch this
Yes.
movie.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I just think
who you are.
I just think there's too many parts. Oh, sorry, Parker. Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'd say there's too many parts of this movie that make me think of food. I'm sorry, Kraft, Campbell. Like, what the fuck
Yep.
else is going on here? I'm like, I'm just hungry now.
Oh god. Our good friends at Dewey Pod Monster said, I remember thinking this movie was okay. Kind of felt like the Claire's of Witchcraft though, and it's just a picture of a Claire storefront with the 4 girls from the craft wall.
That's hilarious. That's accurate. That's so accurate.
Oh. Please,
Oh my god!
please follow Dewey Pod Monster on Twitter and Instagram. They drop some awesome memes on both.
They're good stuff.
Yeah, they're great. Over on Instagram, we got a couple. Our good friend Nate from Give Me Back My Horror Movie said, "Swing."
He
I'm
was
guessing
watching that today. He was watching it earlier.
What, Wayne's World?
No,
Is
The
that-
Craft.
was that for? Oh, he was watching
Both.
The Craft. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
nice.
movie we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh Lord. I said swing. Isn't that from Wayne's World?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking
Yeah, it's all good.
It's getting late, guys. It's getting late. This is going long. Oh man! The next one is from Chris Shashirn. I apologize for probably completely butchering your name. Says one of the most underrated of '90s teen horror movies. Fairuza Balk steals the show. I agree. She's fantastic. in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah,
She
she
is
is
fantastic.
great.
So yeah, make sure to follow us on all those social media apps so that you can leave your comments on whatever movie we're going to be covering, because next week is a good one because we have the boys from the Give Me Back My Action and horror movies on. Last year, they came on to talk about the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh,
and
such
one
a
of those
banger.
guys, and one of the guys was not a fan of the original. Well, I
know
said,
who that
hey.
is.
Do you want to come on to talk about the original? And he went, I guess. As next week, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of 1974's The Texas Chainsaw
so
Very nice.
Massacre.
Very nice.
Awesome.
So excited. I just got this 4K like 2 days ago. I'm so excited to dive into it.
Heck yeah.
and to talk about the movie and to just hopefully Charlie has a good time. I feel like
he's gonna have
Charlie's
a, have you heard Pete Month? He has a good time regardless.
yeah.
I gave Charlie shit because when he came on for the remake, I was like, man, you didn't talk a lot. He's like, just let you guys go.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good. I'm very excited. I don't know if they're all going to be here, who's going to be here. A portion of them or all of them, I don't care.
Right.
It's going to be a great time. So
Somebody's gonna be here.
yeah, somebody's going to be here.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the three of us.
Well, what if we just don't show up? We let them do it. Let's take the week off.
Yeah, just let them get the show over.
Here's the keys. There you go.
We got a lot of fun
Put 'em
stuff.
under the mat when you're finished.
So, but we're excited for that. That's my pick for Spooktober. And then we have our Patreon pick at the end of the month. And then we have our Nightmare on Elm Street franchise ranking, which will be our Halloween episode. So October, a lot of good stuff. But now it's over for today. And I want to thank our wonderful guests, Anna and Hannah, for hanging out with us for a very long time. And they're probably like, God damn.
Shut
2.5
the fuck up. I want to go to
about
sleep.
craft, y'all.
God
God it.
damn.
We went
Like
longer.
we
than the
listened
movie.
to a shorter episode of theirs. We didn't expect this. Oh, guess what? You should.
Whoa! What
It's all good. No, I knew you guys went long. I did. Yeah. I
Yeah.
prepared myself. Usually I'm in bed.
Yeah.
Like we made this
Yeah,
happen.
both of
We
us.
wanted to be here. We're like, we got to go on Dissect.
You guys
Stay
are
up
great.
late and
Thank,
live
we
a
appreciate
little.
it.
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for being here. It was an absolute blast getting to hang out with you guys finally, because you guys were supposed to be on a little earlier, but things happened, and to finally
Yeah.
get you guys on.
Yes.
It's a blast, and you guys are coming back on at some point in the future. So this won't be the last time you get to hear these ladies' voices, but also you should go listen to Cinema Slabs because the show's fucking great. It's
Thank
really
you.
funny. These ladies kill it, and they also. Anna's been on Give Me Back My Action horror movies, doing guest hosting spots. I know Hannah's been over there doing stuff, and it's a lot of fun. And we're gonna be working with you guys. I haven't even told Dan and Angela the fun little collab that we got coming up.
This shit always happens.
Really?
It sure
no,
does.
It's good. It's good. This is good.
It's good.
Next thing.
Yeah.
So, are we adopted? Is that what you
Should
tell us now?
should I announce it? Should I announce it? I haven't talked about it on the show. Should I announce it? What we're gonna be doing? Or do you want me to wait? I
When
can
does this
wait.
come out?
This will come out probably halfway through October.
Yeah, you can, because that episode will be the first weekend in October, so it'll
Okay.
already be out by the time. Yeah.
So the thing that we're collabing with them on, we haven't recorded it yet, but we are going to be talking about Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. We're going to be doing a fifth. Dan, you thought the 20-minute Pet Cemetery one was hard? We have to do 15 minutes.
How can you be upset about Scooby Doo, Dan?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
upset about the
Scooby-Doo.
movie. I think it's just the fact that it's a challenge that we have to do a
I
episode.
can't read
in
him. I don't
15
know him
minutes.
well enough
Yeah,
to read him.
we're
Is he
not
sad?
sure.
Is he
I
happy?
don't know.
Scooby-Doo.
Sometimes I
I
can't
don't
even
like
read
Scooby Doo.
What?
You don't?
You don't like?
No.
What?
No. Dead serious. I fucking
Oh, this is
love
gonna be-
Scooby-Doo
this is gonna be
on
great.
TV.
I am
gonna be so much
shook.
Oh, I can make
my
this bitch
core.
15
How do you
minutes.
not like Scooby Doo?
Dude, I would Cartoon Network Scooby Doo come on like, oh, Scooby Doo. Turn it like every time. Even with fuck Harlem Globetrotters when they were on there. I remember the 13 Ghosts of
Don't
Scooby
you say
Doo.
that? Don't you? I love that episode. Don't you say that?
She's physically coming to our house
Listen,
right
yeah,
now.
I'm on my way.
I'm about to drop your house right now.
Give me Jabberjaw and the Neptunes or whatever the fuck else, or what's the other damn ghost
Dude, this
movie
is
that was like that?
blasphemy.
Ghost show that was like that. I know. I'm just not a big Scooby Doo fan.
Okay.
I'm really curious how this is going to pan out.
All right.
Honestly,
I have seen this movie though.
It's
I will
fun.
say
I'm very excited. I mean, clearly it's out already. So like, I'm talking about it as if it's not out. It's out. So I hope you enjoy it. As of right now, we haven't even recorded it yet. So
this is a preview.
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on here.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
what the
it's
fuck?
gonna be- it's gonna be a
This is
blast.
how we learn
Go
about
back
things.
and
Yes.
listen to it. And
It's
see what
also
Dan has to
it's
say.
also because I get asked things and then a million other things pop into my brain and I forget to tell you guys until like the week before we're supposed to get it done, and I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta record a thing.
I think
That's
it's
what
great
happened
'cause
with
it's a
Pet
good-
Cemetery. It was like 4 days before we were supposed to hand it in. I was like, fuck, we gotta record a 20-minute review on Pet Cemetery.
Because it's a good
See,
Yeah,
I'll
damn
get
it,
the
did we
real
do it?
life
you
reaction.
get a proper
Yeah, that
reaction.
was
out of it.
great.
People
Hell yeah,
enjoy
very
it.
good. Yeah, and this one will only be
Yeah.
15 minutes. So yeah, you don't have to do the extra 5.
It's a
Yeah.
tall task. It's
Yeah.
a tall task because I think we went a little over 20 last time. But
Yeah.
all right. Well,
I'll get in. I'll go 2 or 3 minutes. I'll need a break, and I get back to it. It's fine.
Very good.
all right. Anna, Hannah, whoever wants to sell it, tell us where we can find you guys and Cinema Slabs.
You can find us. We're on Instagram at Cinema Slab Podcast. We're also on Facebook, Cinema Slab Podcast on there as well. And you can find us anywhere you can get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. So yeah, pretty much everywhere. So go
Beautiful.
listen to us. We're just two best
Awesome.
friends. We talk about all kinds of different movies. Of course, horror is close to our heart. But yeah, so and we're in the middle of our Slabathon right now, which is our spooky time. So
Heck
we're
yeah.
doing all horror movies up until Halloween.
Yep.
So yeah.
It's a beautiful
way to
thing.
do it.
We
Yes.
all love horror here.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, all the links and everything you need to find Cinema Slabs will be down in the description of the video or in the show notes for the audio version. As for us, I talked about it before. You can find us at Dissect That Film on all the social media apps. You can find us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where for a single $1 you can support us and get early access to episodes, blooper reels, like pre-show stuff that we record. And if you could join at the free tier, you can participate in polls that we do every single month to choose what movie we cover at the end of the month. And then if you really want some more content, you can join us at the $3 tier, where we have a show exclusive to Patreon called The Monster Zone, where once a month we spin a wheel, we land on a monster movie, and we talk about it.
Fun.
And for the month of October, it is, Dan?
Crater Lake Monster.
The Crater Lake Monster.
It's awesome.
From
1977. Nessie exploitation film. I don't know if it's a thing, but it is now.
Oh God, the last 1977 movie about the fucking Loch Ness Monster was garbage. All right. So yeah, over at patreon.com, if you can support us there. If you can't, that is perfectly okay. You can go to any one of your favorite podcast apps and rate us 5 stars. Leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, all that fun stuff. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dissect That Film, where you can watch the video form, where you can see all our lovely faces and all the fun stuff that we do over here. And you can like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. This is Nate's favorite thing. I know he loves this stuff. And yeah, that's about it for us. I don't know. I probably forget. Oh, wait, I am forgetting something. It's called thanking our wonderful patrons as I close my
Yeah, don't forget them.
Wonderful names in here. Pause for effects. Thank you to Billy Joseph Jr., Corey Morissette, Andrew Schoening, Jason, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast, Daniel Collins, Dan and Angela, DNA Gaming, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Robert Stewart, Rudy5453, Paul Jansen, Dennis, Charles, Bucket of Chum, Official Joey C, and Movie Fanatic. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon, and thank you to everybody else for supporting us, period. Thank you so much. Without you, this show wouldn't be a thing, and if the show wasn't a thing, we wouldn't have met wonderful people like Anna and Hannah from Cinema Slabs. So
true. Thank you.
I think that's
You
it.
guys are awesome.
So thank you. You two are the best. I don't say that to a lot of people.
Oh, thank you.
You're the best. Don't tell Charlie, Nate, and Pete.
It'll be our secret.
Don't worry, they don't watch the show.
And don't tell Dustin.
Yeah, they don't listen. So
they don't listen.
Hey, Dan said it first.
Dan doesn't think anyone listens to the show, and sometimes I believe him. But thank you for joining us for week 3 of our 4th annual Spooktober. I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angelo, DNA Gaming, and that is Anna and Hannah of Cinema Slabs. And this has been episode 176 of Dissect That Film. We'll see you all again next time. Remember to stay spooky. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.